Boom! Hello and welcome to the Executive Protection Lifestyle Podcast with your host, Byron Rodgers. This podcast is dedicated to the executive protection practitioner, the private security professional. In this podcast, we're going to talk about the mental, emotional, psychological, physiological fitness that goes into being an efficient and effective executive protection agent. Whether you're in law enforcement, whether you're a mom that's looking at how to protect her children, or a father that's focused on how to protect his family, I believe this podcast has something for all of you. We might even get into some tales from the crypts of true Hollywood stories from time to time. I'm doing this podcast because I feel the reality of this job is simple. If you really want to be good at executive protection, it's more than just a job. It really is a lifestyle. And those of you who've been in the game for any serious amount of time, you already know what I'm saying is true. So if that sounds interesting to you, enjoy the show. Out. Boom. What you are currently listening to is part 2 in a series. If you haven't heard the first one, I suggest you go back and check out the content we put down 1 episode ago. If you've earned your way here, sit back and enjoy the show. We've got some awesome content coming your way right now.
Heck yeah. Any ammo considerations, clothing considerations, CCW stuff?
Ammo considerations, a lot of the modern expanding ammunition is really good. I know if you have any fitting issues at all with your gun and you're not going to get polished and throated and all that, you just use I think it's Federal makes it expanding full metal jacket. It's a 124 grain plus P expanding full metal jacket.
Yeah,
it works great. It's a good load, and it'll run in anything that will run full metal jacket, which is basically anything. Other than that, you've got a lot of really high quality expanding ammunition. What I would say is make sure that you look at read any reports you can or a ballistic test, because your barrel length is going to have an effect. The heavier, slower bullets in smaller barrels have a tendency to not expand as well. Okay, so like you get, I know there was one load, and they remedied it, but there was a load, I'm not going to name it, but there's 147 grain that worked great out of Glock 17 as a duty load. You put it in Glock 26, and it was basically a heavy full metal jacket. Like it would barely expand at all. Yeah. So you got to make sure that if you've got high performance ammunition, it's got to match the barrel length and the velocity produced. Okay. So and there's a lot of data out there. I know that Spear makes gold dot, like for short barrel version, specifically for short barrel, like 3.5 inch subcompacts. So there's other companies out there that, Hornady and people that make specialized loads for shorter barrel guns as carry ammo. So definitely look around and do a little bit of Google action. Yeah. And look for what is the best 9mm for a Glock 26, and you'll see a bunch of crap. And you sift through it and find the one like the thing from Spear or from Hornady or from one of those main manufacturers that says ballistic gelatin test, and start reading about it. Just get smart on it. Yeah, it's out there though. There's a ton of good ammo out there from all those different manufacturers.
And I think, do your research. What you were saying too about the carry a gun that you will carry is big, because I felt like, I feel like females have like a kind of a bit of a equation, because it's like I almost sometimes feel like they should carry a smaller gun for the clothing considerations, but then at the same time the larger guns fire, you got more support.
You got they just got to match. A lot of it is matching it to their clothing, making it work for their clothing. And
how do you approach that?
Well, that's where
kind of depends on how they train with it.
I wish Mia was here, because she did all the concealment stuff. Because she's a woman and she carrying today.
Yeah,
so it's like they have a unique wardrobe. They have unique body types. They're different than us.
Different gear requirements, holsters and
all kinds of stuff. And so a woman is going to have, once you identify how you carry or where you carry, I can guide you through the best way to manipulate that stuff. I can do that, but I don't dress like a woman. I don't wear women's clothing. Really? I don't know, man. Yeah, right. So it's like, they have some unique challenges, especially based on their stature. You get a smaller woman, it's harder. It's like, think about it. I am 100% completely like at the average size. I'm 5'9" and 175 pounds. Yep. And I'm an average size dude. And there ain't a lot of chicks that are 5'9", 175. So it's like, you carry, like I carry a gun pretty much anywhere, and it fits on me because I got a pretty athletic build and all that. Yeah. But it's harder. It's a lot harder for women based on their body type, and it's very unique to them. So there's companies out there that make Dean Adams makes a bunch of women's holster stuff, and there's some companies that do all that. Like I said, I don't know much about it. Most of it, when I was teaching those women's classes, I learned from Mia. She was the one that she had researched a lot of it, and all because she's a Orange County, CCW holder. So
they get me on here talking about this stuff.
Yeah, she knows a lot about it because it's her lifestyle.
Okay. What would you say? I guess if you were going to describe breaking the perfect shot, how does it feel when you're shooting a pistol and you
feels like nothing moves? It feels like you get the recoil on, but it feels. My follow through tells me that it was the perfect shot. Everything else feels good, but it feels like the gun barely moved at all. Like the sights rest exactly where I was looking. The gun snaps and it's right where I was looking. It's not a little high, a little low. I stabilized the gun in the recoil cycle the way it was supposed to be stabilized, and that reciprocating mass brings it rearward and then brings it right back where it was.
Boom! That's outstanding. That's what's up. Cool. I just had to ask you that question. Nothing moves. And I think that's exactly right, man. That's what's up. Combat. Dun, dun, dun. Right? But fight, combat, war, these things that people seek to understand, and, Hollywood aims to try and illustrate, what would you say were your biggest takeaways? What did you learn from those experiences?
What would I learn? Preparation is everything. Yeah. Preparation is everything. And I tell people all the time, like, if you study, think about it's a test. It's a test of you.
Sure,
if you study and you work hard and you learn all the material and you master it and you can apply it, even if you don't take the test, you know the material.
Right.
Like there's kind of a recipe to go to war, and it's called being prepared. It's minimizing the unknowns and refining your skill set. So that's one thing that I learned, that there's no substitute for preparation.
Heck yeah.
You've got to. You're not just going to go there and just step up and go, I got this. No, it's got you.
Yeah.
So you got to prepare. Learn that everything costs something.
Okay.
That mistakes are expensive, and you can't. It doesn't afford that. Like you can make a bunch of big mistakes, and you're fine. You can make one little mistake, and it'll cost you. So it's like you don't. There's the whole freaking rolling the dice, man. Like no matter how good you are, you still get burned.
Yeah.
Their luck plays a part in that. So, but the preparation part of it, you don't want to go there. You don't want to go to war and not be prepared for it emotionally and hard skills.
Yeah.
You got to be able to make stuff happen, so that the preparation part, you are never completely trained for it, because it's never exactly what you expected. And so, like you said before, like things will happen. You're like, damn, I wish I'd done this a little more. Whoa, I didn't see that coming.
Yeah.
But if you've got a good, solid foundation, you'll be prepared for it. You'll be able to adjust on the fly.
Yeah.
But preparation is everything. And that's for anything. It's going to war, is for a cop on the street. You better be prepared, for that 1%er, for that dude that's, that is going to fight you and fight you hard.
Yeah.
And so, just because 99% of the people won't, that doesn't mean that you're going to run into 99% of the people. You might run into that 1% with your FTO.
Yeah.
So it's like, preparation is everything. And I've seen people that weren't prepared show up and just fail miserably.
Man,
and it was predictable. You could see it happening. Like, that ain't going to end
in slow motion. Like,
you're like,
oh boy.
Not know what they're doing. So that's the preparation part of it. That to me, that's life in general. Anything you do, you're gonna start a business.
Yeah.
You better be prepared to run a damn business.
Yeah.
You're gonna run a marathon. You better train and prepare. Think about it like a marathon.
Yeah.
You could potentially, depending on your level of physicality, just gut through 26.2 miles.
Yeah.
You just gut through it. It'll wreck your body. It'll hurt you, and it'll be misery.
Yeah.
If you train for it and you're ready for it, it's arduous, but you can do it.
Yeah.
And you can do it at the end of it. Like, let's go to the beer tent. It's like,
so much of it sounds like even gutting through that marathon, but I feel like there's a lot to be said for the mental and emotional preparation that goes into these things, man, because the physicality is kind of like there. And I feel like we have more of it than we even realize anyways. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But it's the mental preparation that's going to cause you to stop running. It's the mental preparation that's going to cause you to lose your trash and be panicking when you need to be making decisions. And there's so much to be said for this mental component.
Dude, that's you go out there. I tell people all the time, and I would tell dudes out there when I was out with the Marines, it's like, dude, don't be under any illusions as to who you are or what you do.
Yeah.
Like, one young guy was kind of a little not spooked, but he was he was nervy.
Okay.
Like, dude, like getting ready to write his brain. It was like a bunch of dudes with guns getting ready to go look for a bunch of other dudes with guns in the dark.
Yeah.
We all know how it's end. So let's just
accept it.
Yeah, accept it. Let's do it. Let's do what's got to be done. Like that stuff, you gotta emotionally embrace. You gotta go, okay, this is what I'm prepared to do, and this is what I'm capable of doing. This is what I'm willing to do. Like there's a whole mental component that it's not, you're a killer singing running cadences crap.
Yeah.
Like you are who you are, and be cool with that. But understand if it's not for you, you better address that. Like reality crucifies illusions, man. And so if you think
crucifies illusions,
if you think you're somebody that you're not, reality is going to remind you right away. It'll let you know, like, hey, guess what? That dude you thought you were, you're not him.
You're not him. Repent.
Yeah, exactly.
Exactly.
Yeah, repent over to the training area.
Yeah, exactly.
It's unforgiving. Combat is unforgiving. Combat operations are unforgiving because it's a non-standard problem, and it's overwhelmingly in the dark and under pressure.
Yeah. With
limited time to make decisions, with limited information. If you don't have all the other stuff covered, dude, you're gonna make mistakes, and it's not like it is in the movies, man. Things happen faster than you think, or there are things that you can't stop from happening that happen in slow motion. You're like, this is still happening.
And I'm falling off this now, and and you can't undo it. That's like the biggest thing to me is like
there's a thing where theory really theory, well, not even theory, a lack of understanding.
Yeah.
Before I went over to do the task force thing, the ID thing, counter ID thing, there was a briefing that I went to, long story, but anyway, they had a program where they were doing controlled debt from the air. They were energizing the ground and set off IEDs.
Wow.
And they're like, wow, that's great. I'm like, well, what's your success rate? And they're like, it's awesome. It's great. We've got like a 70 to 75% success rate. I'm like, okay. I'm like, what? That's good.
What does that mean?
I was like, that's good for you. In 3 weeks, I'm going to be in a vehicle on those roads. And if 25% of the bombs are still there, it might as well be 100%. Like, there's still bombs there. Like, I only got blown up by 25% of them. Like, I looked at it, it was like, you don't understand. What you are giving me is a theoretical level of safety based on probability. What I am telling you is there's still bombs on the road that didn't go off. Yeah. And I still got to avoid them. So literally, that's great that you're getting 75%. But
I got to act like that whole road's bomb.
Exactly. I got to act like it's just in. There's IED still in that road.
Yeah.
It's like, and so it's like that kind of like that unrealistic understanding of the application of knowledge. Like, okay, yes, this works in a controlled environment, in a scientific environment. This is the results we get.
In a vacuum.
In a vacuum. But when you apply it to the battlefield, it means nothing to me. It literally is like, they're like, oh, they compass call, we did control that. I'm like, that's great. Doesn't change anything.
Yeah.
Like it means nothing. Yes, it helped minimize the probability, theoretically, of me getting blown up. Until I get blown up, then it didn't minimize it at all.
And then, because there's still some stuff.
Yeah, so it's those kind of things are like you see when they were putting all kinds of armor on people. They wanted to freaking
dude, like RoboCop down.
And I remember telling them, like, you can't put enough armor on somebody that I can't put a bullet somewhere that hurts them. Yeah. And once I immobilize you, then it's just a matter of time before I harvest you. It's
right.
Like so that's why some of these things that they were material fixes. Mm-hmm. And they're like, oh, we got to put more, we got to give guys more body armor. Well, now they get slower and they overheat more. Yeah. And they're like, you start to solve problems, creating other problems that are worse.
Yeah.
And they like I want enough armor that it's going to protect the big stuff. And like, I want like the pump in the middle and the pipes that go down the center, protect that. Otherwise, I want to be fast on my feet. I want to be able to jump over walls. I want to be able to move rapidly. So some of the stuff that you see how people are trying to create material fixes, and they have all the best intentions, but from the operational side, you sit there and go,
are you creating another problem?
Yeah, you're creating another problem that's even bigger than the one before because they're still vulnerable. I'm still vulnerable when you do the aerial detonation of those IEDs. You didn't change anything for me, and you spent a bunch of money, and I have to act exactly the same way. Yes, you minimized my exposure. Yes, I will acknowledge that. But it doesn't change how I act on the ground. So operationally, there's no change.
Right.
You put a bunch of extra armor on a soldier or a Marine. You just made it's 119 degrees, and sweating like a hooker in church, and you got all this armor on you, and you're trying to run with a dude with like track shoes on, and one mag,
and an AK with one mag, a sweatsuit.
Yeah, you're like, dude, you're not like you just can't move as fast as them. You put so much armor on these guys that they're like turtles.
Yeah,
and they can still get shot.
Yeah, like, and then they can still get shot.
So it's like I understand, and they have these guys. The people doing this have the best of intentions. But the application of it didn't go to the guy on the ground. Yeah, and it's like you see that in a. We've been at war for almost 20 years now. Yeah, you see a lot of stuff where they're really trying to make a material fix for a training failure. Yeah, and I'm like, I mean, that's one of the things that I learned over there, that it was difficult because nobody wants to be the guy that voted against, the jamming systems or whatever, or more armor
for our troops to protect our troops.
It's like, but they don't understand the long-term effect
and the other implications.
Yeah, and it's something I saw from the inside of it, like you. We saw from the inside what a war looks like. Yeah, and you're like, man, there's some dumb shit that goes on that people do at the higher ups.
Who came up with this? Like, someone who's completely out of touch.
The good idea, Barry. The good idea, Barry. Sprinkler, the good idea got him out of town.
Yeah, man. Jeez, man.
Yeah. It's definitely difficult in that regard you've got the integration part of it. You've got to get smart guys on the ground to go, this doesn't make sense. It briefs well, but it's not going to help us.
And it seems like there's something to be said for a type of intelligence that, like we train like these specific types of skills on the range sometimes. Yeah. We train these specific things. There's just a type of intelligence, whether it's a fluid intelligence or what it is, to where you can take a guy, it's like grunt intelligence, and you can put him in a number of circumstances and with his gun, and he can navigate that trash. Yeah. It's a certain type of intelligence. It's a fluid intelligence. I don't know what it's called. But
it's creative intelligence. It's the ability to apply principles.
Non-standard problems.
Yeah, you got to. If you understand how the gun runs and how to best employ it, then you can employ it in a whole bunch of different ways. Yeah. Like you have to understand if you have a one-dimensional understanding, I'm going to do certain things and that's it. If you don't really understand the application of the gun, how you can make it do the things that you want, you really don't know how to shoot it well. Like there's an understanding of it. It's just this weird implement, this stick that's loud on one end. Like you're not learning about it, and that's where it's not the shooting part. It's the running gun. It's all the other stuff, the mechanics, reloads, and malfunctions, and all that stuff. If you don't understand it at that level, you're actually not really competent with that rifle. And so like that's where rifles, machine guns, all that, you've got to have a level of understanding that allows you to apply that device, apply that pistol, rifle, whatever it is, apply it to the battlefield in a non-standard environment. In changing environment, it's going to give you an opportunity to employ it in a certain way. And if you don't really understand how to run whatever piece of equipment it is, you don't have the adaptable knowledge that will allow you to employ it in the best way possible. Yeah. So it's like it's a non-standard problem-solving ability, and the actual it's adaptable knowledge. You possessing adaptable knowledge, which is flexible knowledge. I understand the principles of the system, and I can apply them to a whole bunch of different situations, and that's difficult because it takes
time and experience, and and that's why I like competitive shooting, because I feel like, okay, I got my pistol, I got a range, so I'm gonna go kick it with these dudes on Saturday. They're gonna shuffle the deck. They're gonna throw a whole bunch of non-standard stages that I haven't seen yet, and I'm gonna try and problem solve and run through those as quickly and efficiently as possible, and maybe I'll increase my ability to problem solve a little bit.
It's important because you have to think on the fly. You have an ammunition load that you have to carry, and you plan just like an operations order. We have a plan. Yeah. Now, it never goes like you planned. So you better be able to adjust. You better recognize that when you're shooting USPSA, I'm not going to have. I was going to reload over here, but now I have to reload over here. Yeah. Like the plan has to change. What I found that it does that's so good is it makes you think faster. You have to keep track of everything, and you have to think more rapidly. And that's the real difference between basically like an intermediate shooter and a really advanced shooter in USPSA is they process the circumstances and the information faster, just much faster. It's like it's that anything that makes you think more rapidly under pressure is good. It's good for you.
Yeah. Dude, my buddy,
it's like multivitamin for your brain.
Yeah, no, my boy Caleb plays these like speed chess matches. He's like, it's like a 1 or 2 minute. I don't remember how long. I gotta get into it. But it's like, okay, real quick, I'm gonna play a chess match. It's like 3 minutes, and they're like him and whoever he's playing against. boom, 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 boom. And I'm like, this has got to be so good for me.
Oh yeah, it makes your brain sprint.
Real quick, tactical shooting versus competitive shooting. What do you think about this whole kind of?
There's just shooting. The application, there's just shooting. The application, you apply marksmanship techniques, which are the same no matter what you're doing.
Right.
I don't care if you're shooting USPSA match or IDPA or whatever. The marksmanship techniques are the same. How you apply them is what varies, and that's based on the job or whatever task is at hand. Yeah. If I am in a combative environment, you will apply those marksmanship techniques differently. If you go to a USPSA match, okay, it's 2 shots per target are scoreable.
Yeah.
Okay. In real life, it's as many shots as you need. Like until the problem is solved. So it's different. Yeah. So in a testing environment, you only get the two highest shots. Okay. In real life, you just shoot until the problem solved. Yeah. So the application is different. How you pull the trigger is exactly the same.
Yeah.
So guys can understand that when you're practicing, it is not a scenario. Like a sport match is not a scenario. It's a drill. It's an exercise of component skills. They put a name to it. It's, 3 to go or whatever.
Skills.
Yeah, you're exercising component skills against each other. A standardized drill that we all shoot to see who does it the best. Yeah. But it's not a scenario. A scenario is judgment.
Ah, okay.
And so
scenario focuses on your ability to make better decisions.
Absolutely. Your ability, the judgment that you use to apply that firearm when and where and how, that's in a scenario. You already know before it starts in a match, you already know I'm going to shoot all these targets twice.
Yeah.
Let's do it.
I'm going to try to do it like this.
Yeah. So it's like they are different. And if you remember anything about it, people listening, remember anything, a sport match is a drill. It's maybe a long one or an ornate one, but it is a drill. There is very, very little judgment other than what do I believe is the best way to shoot all these targets twice and knock all the steel over.
Yeah.
A scenario is completely different because you have a adversary, usually doing simulations or something like that. You have an adversary that is moving and changing and aggressing. So it is the problem that you face is continually changing. So your solution must continually change.
Wow. Yeah, that's good. That's good, Gouge. That's good stuff. What would you say the proudest moments you have had in the field?
Bringing all you guys back, man. Making sure that everything you did, you didn't get guys hurt. You didn't take a risk that got somebody else injured. That was always my biggest fear. And I made a mistake once. I went somewhere that I shouldn't have gone with the guys, and it almost turned out really, really, really bad. And I remember thinking like, dear God, if somebody's got to get clipped, man, let it be me. I'm the one that made the decision. I'll pay for this one. But I remember that feeling like this is not going to be good, man. This is and going, I should have known better. I was a little more. And it was one of those little decisions. It's just a little decision. Yeah. It becomes a big decision. Expensive one. And I was thinking, man, you know what?
I think I may have.
Yeah, I think I might have screwed this one. And then I remember thinking that, man, like my biggest fear was always that I would go somewhere, starting from when I was, first started in the Corps, all the way on to when I was at Delta, and then on when I was doing contracting, is that I would make a mistake and one of the boys would pay for me. Yeah. Like I would make a mistake and you'd get clipped because of it.
Yeah.
And then I'd have to stand up in front of your wife and say, hey man, I screwed up and your husband paid for me. Sorry. Like I couldn't. And I was always concerned about like that. And I learned that in the Corps. We had a first sergeant who's like, hey man, you're shooting to keep your buddy alive and he's shooting to keep you alive. That's what you do. And so you better be as advertised. You better be that guy that he's depending on.
Yeah.
Like, and that means that if you got to do extra to be that guy, be that guy. But you don't be the one. You don't want to be the one that failed to do your job and have somebody else pay for you
and do your
yeah. So it's like that was one of those ones that was hard. It was a great lesson to learn. Thank God nobody got clipped in the process. Yeah. But I remember thinking like, man, this is about to be the worst day of my life. Yeah. And maybe everybody else's. Yeah. And it's like, and that shit's on your shoulders, man. That is something that I was like, and it changed the way I understand the emotional component when you are genuinely in the leadership position. Because there's a lot of guys out there that had to make some tough decisions. And man, it weighs on you. When things start to go bad, you're like, you know what? It taught me the gravity of it, of being like everything's cool until it gets dicey, and then all of a sudden it's not cool anymore.
Yeah.
And you don't take risks for everybody. I signed all my boys. I signed them up for a risk that they didn't sign on to. They didn't even know it yet. And I'm like, it's a different, everybody's got it. I mean, if you were ever in a leadership position running a team, you made a decision. You're like, oh shit, that was a bad decision. Everybody does it. And if you didn't, then you didn't do anything in consequence.
Yeah.
And if you did, then you made some bad decisions, man. And I hope to God they turned out like mine did.
Yeah.
Where you're like, holy crap, that was close as hell. And I will never do that again. And I learned from it. Yeah. But it's like, that was one of the hardest. It was the hardest, but it was the best lesson I learned I had an understanding of it. Yeah. Like it's like also like, dude, don't be cavalier with other people's freaking safety. Don't be cavalier with other people because I think I can pull this off. Well, guess what? I'm not the only person here. The whole crew with me. Now I'm signing you up for some things that you didn't sign on to. Yeah. And like you learn that. And I watched other people do that. I watched other people in command decisions, both enlisted and officer, make decisions, sign some boys up for some stuff that they didn't sign on to, and it turned out poorly. And I'm like, if they've got a sense of honor, that's got to tear away their soul.
Eat them up.
Yeah, because like I made a decision. I made a really bad decision, a cavalier decision. I should have known better, and you paid for me.
Yeah,
that's a dirty footprint on your soul forever, bro.
Trash. Yeah,
you can't wash that one off.
No, that's true, man.
Yeah, it's
So that's that's a good lesson.
That was a good one. Man, it's just being real, man. I am like that was a hard one. I remember coming back from that and sitting down in my hooch, man, my container housing unit, my chair, sitting down and being like, all right, okay, let's not do that shit again.
Yeah,
right. How about stop doing that dumb shit? Yeah. Like, thanks, boss. Appreciate that. Like,
no, I dig it, man. There was a few times with my guys even where now that I'm out of the situation, when I was young and I was like, just indestructible.
Oh yeah.
I remember looking at my officers one time being like, why didn't you let us go after those dudes? We were whipping it on, we were getting it in. Like, why didn't you just let us go after them? And now that I think back, I'm a little more mature.
Yep.
I'm like, man, you know what? Thank God, LT.
Dude, I'll tell you, it's nothing more expensive than regret.
Yeah, man.
Starting to make some decisions, man. It's like, once you jump, like if you don't look and then you jump in a swimming pool, you're assuming there's water in there.
Yeah,
like,
you're assuming it's not too shallow.
Yeah,
you're making these assumptions.
Like that. Now that imagine I grab everybody and say, everybody jump in at once. Oh shit! Sorry about the water.
Yeah.
That's why that's one of those things that you when you learn the lesson you learn, it definitely stays with you. It stuck with me, obviously. Yeah. So it's like everybody out there that's done. I know all my boys out there, all the guys that I know that have done stuff in consequence. Everybody's all made that decision. Mm-hmm. They're like, damn it, I wish I hadn't done that. Like, man, I should have known. The worst thing that you say to yourself ever is, I should have known.
Yeah,
I should have known better. Like, damn it, I should have known. Like, and that's regret.
That's regret. Yeah, that's a tough pill to swallow.
Yeah. So, like I said, I was like, thank good Lord, man, that it turned out the way it did. But God is my witness. I was like, man, if this goes bad, if somebody's got to get clipped, man. I'm the one that made the decision. Don't be one of them. Like I genuinely in that moment, like before shit started to unfold, I was like, okay, I got a second here. Like it's just, it was definitely
obviously just let it be known, man. If someone's got to pay, I'm the guy. I'm on the tab. I messed it up. Good and evil.
There are people out there that are just wired wrong. They're just bad people. There's nothing. They are incorrigible, man. They are incapable of reform. You can't make them be nice. You can't deal with them. You can't you're not going to cut a deal with them. I look at it, if you look at back when I was talking about, what do you call it? We were talking about the women carrying, women's consuming all that. Like when we do those classes, me and I would do those classes, I tell them, it's like, listen, like if some guy get in the parking lot, grabs you in the parking lot, I was like, get in the car. Like, no, we're gonna do this right here. Like whatever you're gonna do, you're gonna do it right here. Like we're not getting in the car because all they will do, you're not gonna cut a deal with them. Yeah. All they're gonna do is take you out in the canyons where they can't hear you, where nobody can hear you scream,
and do what they want.
And it's gonna get uglier. It gets worse. Yeah. We all know, if you go in that car, we know how it ends.
We all know how it ends.
If you stay here and just get it on right here, like let's just do this right here.
You're going to kill me right here.
Yeah. You got a chance. Yeah. You got a chance. He may break off the attack. He might run. Maybe just
might be too public. Why? Yeah. He's trying to move you because he doesn't want to do it right there.
Exactly. He's trying to get you in the car because he doesn't want to do it here.
Yeah.
So break his plan, but that person is not going to be. You're not going to get in the car and cut a deal with him.
Yeah.
Your pleading and begging is going to give him power. And there are people out there that are just depraved. They're just twisted. You can call it what you want. You can call it evil. You can say that their brain's wired wrong. But They're just bad people. Yeah. They're evil people, and they won't get tired of hurting you.
Yeah.
They enjoy it. They're doing it because it's fun. They had they had the dudes in Iraq that were the town torturers.
Yeah.
There were guys when I was out with the Marines, there was one guy that they rolled up. He did it for free. What does that tell you about a guy?
Yeah, right.
Like, dude, that's just twisted. Like,
and they would. You'd break into these houses and there'd be body parts and all kinds of weirdness all over the place.
And it's like, and that's what, like, so there are people that you just can't deal with. They are not to be dealt with in a civil manner. Yeah. They will hurt you. Given the opportunity, they will hurt you any way they can, and they'll enjoy doing it. And if you don't accept that, then you don't accept the reality of life.
Yeah, that's exactly. Boom! There it is, man.
It is.
Like, no, it's true.
And those people,
like, get acquainted with that reality because it's true. And I hope you never meet these people.
That's what.
But they exist.
And
good people are the balance.
Yeah, I mean, I've told people before that are, I told my ex-wife at the time, if somebody has a gun to your head, and I have a gun and they say, put your gun down, I'm not doing it. No. I'm not going to do it because now he's got two. Yeah. Now he's got two.
Like, hey, like in these movies where the good guy
puts the gun down.
The good guy puts the gun down. I'm like, what are you doing?
No, he's got two hostages. Like, if he's willing to be his mercy, this guy's taking over the world. Like, what are you doing? If he's willing to hold a gun to your significant others, your wife or your daughter or your mom, if he's willing to hold a gun to their head and threaten to kill them,
break that shot.
Exactly, man. Dude,
break that shot.
Smooth, steady pressure straight to the rear, man. Like, send it, because guess what? Even if you screw it up, dude, you tried. Yeah. But if you let it go, if you put your gun down, dude, now he's got both of you. And that ends poorly.
That ends poorly.
I'm not disarming for anyone, because I understand that someone that's willing to do that is evil. They will enjoy doing damage. Yeah. And so it's like, you understand that there is, like I said, you can call whatever you want. Some people believe in good and evil. Some people, I think there's people that are just, they are wired wrong, and they are just downright evil. They enjoy injuring people in a really grievous way, and you will never, ever stop them. It's like pedophiles. They will never stop being a pedophile. They're wired that way. Yep. You can't, their eventual death is all that stops them, but they'll never stop on their own.
No.
So it's like, you get
your statistics and stuff to prove that.
Yeah, the recidivism rate is extraordinary. It's like 100% basically. Yeah. The ones that haven't reoffended have either been killed or have been injured so badly that they literally can't reoffend.
Or haven't been caught.
Again. Yeah. Yeah. So yeah, there's definitely good and evil out there, man. And you better be ready for it, because it is, the face of it is freaking, when you see it, you see somebody.
Yeah.
Long story really short. I saw a dude over there, and I was like, that's an evil, like, you're that guy. Like, that's an evil dude, man.
And you realize they look just like us.
They do. They do. And then they're like, they look just like us. But there's something about them. There's something different. Like, man.
And it's like looking into, it's like seeing beyond for a minute. It's like,
you're man. Like, I remember looking at a dude like, I know exactly who you are.
Yeah. Or like for me, like the first time I ran into like some prejudice stuff, it's like, wait, what?
What?
Huh?
Yeah.
And then I like had a moment, and then I was like, oh. I was like, you're I was like, that's prejudice, but like it's the same kind of thing. It is. Like you're like, oh my God.
I get it now.
It's okay. Yeah.
It's a depraved state, but people need to understand that it's just a simple concept. There are just really, really evil people out there, really bad people. And if you ever run into them, you will never cut a deal with them. You will fight them.
They're there for the evil. They're there for the bleeding. They're there
for the injury. They want to hurt you. They get gratification from injuring someone that can't fight back or doesn't fight back. Yeah. You might as well make them, like, I used to tell people when I was overseas, man, it's like, I'm not giving this shit away, man. If you're going to clip me, you're going to work for it.
Yeah. And you're going to remember the day.
Yeah. You're like, damn, I hope there's not more of them crazy motherfuckers around here. Like, shit.
You're going to tell your grandkids about it, hopefully.
You will remember me. Unless it's just luck.
Yeah.
If it goes down like, hey, man, I'm not giving this away. Screw that. Like, the whole orange jumpsuit thing, like I wasn't going that way, man.
Yeah. No way. No. You're not. I'm not going on Ogrish. That's what my boys used to say. Yeah. You ain't getting videos of me getting chopped into pieces.
No. So it's like,
no. And I won't be on that website.
That whole like, and that's why guys that have been around, man. The whole idea, like, you're going to surrender. Like when we were over there, man, it's just like, no, man.
These guys.
That's not how this happens. That's not how this gets played out, man. This goes old school.
I'm dying out here with my guys and my honor.
It ends that way anyway.
Yeah, man. You put your fingers all cut off.
Bro.
Yeah, no.
It ends the same way. Yeah. Might as well make it count. Might as well make it work for it. Like, hey,
and drain a couple of them on your way out, bro.
Yeah, man, it's like, I'm not giving this shit away.
No,
that's why. But for the general public, for just regular people, bad people are bad people, and you're not gonna make them good people. You're not gonna reason with them. So be prepared.
Yeah, absolutely. The ultimate sacrifice. What would you say about making the ultimate sacrifice?
And
giving your life for someone.
It's a level of dedication. I mean, guys are willing to fight. Guys are willing to fight for each other and die for each other. It's something. There's a camaraderie. You build. There's a loyalty. It's like, hey, if this goes bad, then we fight it out. Yeah. And if it doesn't work out, then they'll find us side by side. But I ain't leaving. There's a loyalty to it, and there's guys that are willing to do things to protect each other. That they're willing to sacrifice. Somebody's got to ante up and just step up and go. You know what? It's my turn this time. Yeah. And I've been a part of that. I've seen that. It's like you see people that are willing to sacrifice for something greater than themselves. It says a lot about them. There's a belief that there's a greater good or a greater benefit there, that I am a part of it, but I'm not the most important part of it. Yeah. There's something that's more important than my own safety. I'm willing to risk it to do this. Yeah. And guys paid up. I mean, we both know guys that paid for it. It's like, it is something that you don't throw your life away, but you have to be willing if you're a professional soldier or Marine, you've got to understand that there is going to be a time where I'm going to have to do something that
be ready to do.
Yeah, I got to really do something that may not that will very likely end me and with my death. Mm-hmm. But I still have to do it. Yeah. And it's like it's a sobering thought. You have to accept I could die. It's hard to say, but without it sounding off. Hey, this could very well kill me. Okay, right. I got it. Yeah. So but that's once you accept that, it's not a decision you make every time. You just look at it and go, there's things that have to get done, and I got to get them done. Yeah. I understand there are inherent risks in them, and I don't keep reevaluating. You're either willing to make a sacrifice or you're not. You don't keep reevaluating. Am I still ready? Am I still willing?
It's Tuesday.
Let's check on that.
Yeah. No, it's I think it's something that a lot of us as protectors and warriors settled a long time ago.
I understood. I never thought there were a couple times where I thought that one I talked about when I made that bad decision, where I was like, it was something like I thought about it because I had made a mistake, and I was like, man,
someone's gonna have to pay him.
Yeah, someone's gonna have to pay the butcher's bill for this one, and I was like, and we literally just got fucking lucky. But it's like. But the overall, getting jocking up and going out. Boy, hey man, I never went out going, man, I hope I don't get killed tonight. Yeah, it's like, dude, you throw your show. That's not. If you go out there like that, you're already defeated. You're just waiting for it to show up. Yeah. You're waiting for the guy to show up. Go out there I'm gonna freaking do what I got to do, man. I'm gonna get this done. Yeah. I'm thinking, and I'm leaning into success. Yeah. If not, then you're going backwards. You're on your heels already. Yeah. That is decisions made before they have to be made. Yeah. I've already made a decision. I understand what it costs. This is what we do. At some point, somebody pays. Might be me tonight. I don't know. Might be you tomorrow. Who knows? Mm-hmm. But if you keep readdressing that, because it's a pretty serious question, but if you keep readdressing it, it'll haunt you. It means you never really came to a conclusion.
Exactly. You haven't made that decision. And I think a lot of what we're talking about is the decisions made before these decisions are being required.
Yeah, before they're forced on you. Yeah. Okay, make the decision now. No, I already made that one.
Yeah, exactly. Right to roll. And even down to dealing with the civilian population, even out here, I know that there would be, if there was the right circumstance and I saw the right, or for a client or whatever it is, I already know I made that decision a long time ago. You know what I
mean? That's in the program now.
That's right. Family, I'm out with the family, whatever it is, that's interesting. Yeah. Decisions made before it's time to be enforced.
They're forced upon you. Yeah. Yeah. Because under pressure, you always try and bargain with yourself. Yeah. I already know what this.
You have to have the character already in place before that.
That's I had one of those little Belgian mini frags, and we were getting ready. I was out with Marines, and the guy's like, "Well, you steal your girlfriend's hand grenade?" Or and I was just doing my shit, man. A big wad of Copenhagen mode. I was like, this one's not for throwing, bro.
And he was like, what? And you're like, dang right.
That's what I said. I'm like, dude, I don't see any orange jumpsuits in my future.
Yeah.
This is back in 05, but I mean, the whole time, dudes, you better make that decision, because you're not going to make that decision when it's forced upon you. You're going to try and cut a deal. There was a guy, I wish I could remember his name. He's a soldier, and he was, I think he got DSC. I don't know if he got a Medal of Honor or not. I think at DSC. He was talking to his boys, his crew about, hey, if somebody threw a hand grenade in one of these Humvees, I wonder if I could just pin it against the battery box and my armor would, would absorb the blast. And I'd probably get killed, but everybody else, probably live. And they talked about it all. Sure as shit. A surgeon threw a hand grenade in, he pinned it against the battery box. It killed him and saved the whole crew. And this actually is a guy there's it's like he had talked about it before. He had already gone through it in his head. Like, if this happens,
there was that go through it in your head, man.
Yeah, he had made a rehearsal. And it's like, and he did it. And that was like, you recognize it's the guys that in a hole that one was it Mansour, that SEAL that friggin' dove on a hand grenade, man.
Yeah.
Like, we're either both probably going to get friggin' killed, or one of us pays up. Yep. And dude paid up, man. God bless him for doing it, man. He said, you know what? It's my time to pick up the tab.
Yeah.
Peace out. Like,
I got the edge on you.
Yeah, it's like I can sit here and hope it doesn't kill both of us, or I can guarantee it doesn't kill you. And that's that selflessness and that willing to sacrifice. You gotta understand that those guys, given the same situation, would have done it for you.
Yeah.
They would have done it for you. And so it's like, that's something that people don't understand. Like, oh, I would never do that. Well, you right now, as you are, would never do that. But you don't understand when you deal with that reality every day.
Culture.
And that culture where it's like, I never wanted to be the guy that let my teammates down. The guy that were like, yeah, we thought you were the man, but you weren't. Like, I want to be as advertised. I always did it. So I was willing to make the sacrifices necessary, whatever they were, to be, like I said, I call it as advertised. To be the guy that I said I was going to be was the guy that I was. Yeah. And it's because I was willing to. And like, people see it out there when you're doing your job. It's like, that's that decision you made prior.
And you still whip it on, man. You still are that dude, man. That's I mean, there's so much good stuff in there, man. Like, making these decisions before they're required of you is everything. So you can, without hesitation,
without anxiety, without fear, without hesitation.
And people act like, well, you're thinking about death and da-da-da-da-da. And I was like,
it's coming for all of us, bro.
It's gravity. Bro. Yeah. Like, were you thinking you're making it out of this thing alive? Yeah. My only concern is whether I die well or not. You know what I mean?
It's coming. Death is coming for every one of us. Every one of us is on our way there. It's on its way. It's like special delivery coming for me and coming for you. It's just a matter of when it gets here.
And how you're going to live on the way.
Yeah, it's like, so don't lament it. Understand it's going to come to you eventually. Yeah. And so just make peace with it. I don't, I was just talking to a friend of mine today when I was on my way up here. It's like, I don't think about like, oh my gosh, I wonder if I'm going to get old and die of this, or I wonder if I'll get cancer. Like, I'm going to eventually be dirt again. That's the way it works. It's the way the system works, man. I got it. So you know what? I can deal with right now, and I can do the best I can with right now. And you know what? If something else shows up, I'll deal with it. But the idea, an inordinate fear of death, like, oh, I don't want to get an airplane, I could crash. Oh, I don't want to get, those same dudes that like, one of my brother's friends was a super fit, CrossFit guy, like specimen, great guy, like perfect dad, like model. Driving down
all
the road.
The straight teeth.
Exactly, all the straight teeth, like full head of hair, like 58. Dude's driving down the road, an oak branch on a tree, just rotten, breaks off, falls down, impales and kills him. Like, dude,
that was it.
It's like, dude,
Final Destination, man.
Exactly. It's like, hey, man, it comes for everybody. So live your life the best way you can, and don't let that drive your decision. Don't let that steal the joy from your life. Your fear of death, don't make it steal the joy out of your life. Yeah. Whether you're us going overseas or whether you're just around town, man, be courageous of heart. Like, be like, hey, man, I'm taking control of my life and my day. Otherwise, it's taking control of me, but somebody's running this shit.
Somebody, exactly. Like, and somebody's paying somebody. Like,
exactly. There's some debt being paid up.
Exactly, man. I'm gonna make every minute count, or it's just I'm spending God's currency without paying attention.
Oh hell yeah.
What would you say? PTSD.
PTSD, post-traumatic stress disorder. The D is the part of it at the end. It's the disorder part. That's the way I look at it. And I've seen a lot of it, and I've seen. I've been accused of it. I've been like, when I was in college, and post-traumatic stress. Let's just start there. What is that? That's stress after a traumatic event.
Yep.
Everybody has that. Everybody. You get a car accident.
Scared of dogs.
Yeah. You're scared of dogs. You're like, you choked on a chicken bone. Like, post-traumatic stress. It only becomes a disorder when you can't function in society effectively.
Right.
And so it's like the PTSD is, if you have such horrific nightmares that you can't sleep. Now you've got
clinically
nightmares and you've got sleep deprivation, which causes madness. It actually starts to make you crazy. So it's like there are a lot of people out there that have experienced things that that will give them PTSD.
Heck yeah.
Not just soldiers, sailors, airmen, and Marines in combat. No.
Little kids growing up, it's late night sneaky uncles. There's all kinds of stuff. Dude.
All kinds of crazy trash that goes on.
Yeah.
And I remember when I was in when I came back and was going back to school to finish my degree up at the University of Washington. Mm-hmm. One of the professors I had was asking me about it. He was a Marine in Vietnam. He did 2 tours in a capsule platoon. He's an infantry guy. Good dude, really good dude. And Mike Allen's his name, actually. Great guy, professor at University of Washington. Okay. And we're kind of talking about it and stuff. And then after we're talking about PTSD and because I just come back and what it was like, and, kind of getting acclimated. I was in history class with him. And then one of the guys in the class asked me about it. He's like, well, the PTSD thing. And, he's like, you don't have PTSD. And I was like, no. He's like, well, it didn't affect you. I'm like, I didn't say that.
Yeah, right.
But I don't have PTSD. Mm-hmm. Yeah, you don't go the places we went and see the places we saw. And see the things we saw and not be different. I'm different.
Yeah,
I'm absolutely different.
I'm different too.
Yeah, I am not the same guy. I don't, it's weird because it shows you all kinds of things. Everything that is good and really honorable and everything that is despicable in the human condition, you get to see. And it's on parade. Yeah. You get to see it all. And you're like,
at varying levels of intensity that you don't get here.
Yeah, you just you're like, wow. You see courage and you see cowardice in levels that are that blow your mind. You see good and evil. You see charity
when you have nothing, people who have nothing taking care of each other. You see people who have nothing leaving infants out to starve to death until they're mentally retarded and flies are eating them. And they look right at you like, what? You're like, what?
Like it is, you see the extremes in the human condition, and it changes the way you look at humanity. And it's like you understand things at a different level, and it changes the way you view day-to-day life. I'm a lot more vigilant.
Yeah.
I mean, and you get every once in a while you get things pop into your head that you'd rather had stayed asleep.
Yeah.
You remember something like, oh man, or you hear a sound or something. Yeah, but it's not, you're not freaked out. You're not like diving for cover and shit, but you're like, whoa, that reminded me of something.
Yeah.
But it's,
your hair might stand up a little bit here and there.
And that's okay. That post-traumatic stress tapers off, and it's just post-traumatic you. Yeah. It's just like the traumatic events in your life, things that are really poignant. You remember them, and that memory conjures up an emotion. Okay, got it. Everybody's different. You come back, you're not the same guy.
No.
Got it. That's okay. When you can't function, then it's a problem. My big issue is dudes riding it to get money. They're like, oh, I got PTSD.
Yeah.
Or they use it to get sympathy. Like, I don't want your damn sympathy.
Yeah.
I don't want that.
I'm going to die before I want your sympathy. Yeah.
They got the sympathy. Oh, I got PTSD. And then they throw the martyr thing. I went so you didn't have to. Stop that shit.
No. Yeah. You're making us all look bad.
Why don't you climb up and nail yourself up to the cross, bro? Thanks for saving me. Thanks for sacrificing yourself for my sins.
Did they ask you to do that? Yeah. Were you guys in a back alleyway Rochambeauing for who was going or something?
Yeah, I was like, dude, I've heard people do that and do the whole I suffered from PTSD. It's like, one dude that I knew in when I was back in Washington State, and I didn't know him personally. I knew of him. I'd seen him before, but he came back and beat shit out of his wife really bad. He's like, oh, I got PTSD. It's like, no, you're just an asshole.
Okay. Yeah.
You're saying you just beat shit out of your wife because you can't control your damn self. Right. Don't use it as an excuse to be a crappy person.
Right.
Like, if you need help, get help, but don't sit there and blame all of it on that.
On anything outside of you. You're a human. And men have been chopping each other into little pieces since the beginning of Pimp has been Pimp. And then
hell yeah, dude.
Don't act like the human condition can't overcome this.
Yeah, it's like exactly. It's been going on. And think of all the guys that came back. The guys went to freaking landed at Normandy and fought across Europe against one of the technologically most advanced and capable armies. They fought in Japan against a fanatical and very, very tactically proficient military. I mean, guys that landed on Iwo Jima that, fought a volcanic island with no collateral damage. Hey, guess what? We're going to land on this island that's fortified, and we're going to fight to the death with 15,000 Japanese yen.
Yeah.
And those dudes, I mean, they came back and that's
one of the most productive generations.
They came back and built the greatest nation on earth.
like, what's your excuse?
Yeah, and that's why it's like those guys came back and like, you know what? I'm going to put that behind me.
Yeah.
And
And I'm going to be what my family needs me to be.
I mean, it's like, and back in the day, like my dad was in Korea as an infantryman in Marine Corps. It's like, I remember my grandfather telling me that when he came back, he was like, yeah, you know, we told the rest of the family, because my grandfather had been in World War I. He's like, yeah, you know, his name's Vic. He's like, yeah, Vic's going to be different when he comes back. Just leave him alone. Just let him do his thing. And he's going to be he's not going to be the same guy. And like, back then people understood it because so many guys went to war. Yeah. And that's what we have now. That's a problem is you show up and you get back and it's like, there's no fanfare. There's no nothing. You just show up and you're just some other dude. Yeah. Like, I mean,
trying to find a job.
Trying to get on with your business. And it's like, and then the whole like you used to be somebody. You could pick up a handset and call an airstrike. You could do stuff. And now you're just some dude at University of Arizona or University of Washington or UC Berkeley.
Working
or
at Walmart now. Trying to survive.
So it's like the guys have to let go of who they were in that previous life. I think it does them a disservice because they're trying to live something that's no longer there. That's part of your history. It's who you are, but don't hold on to it too tightly or it'll hurt you. And if you need help, man, get it. Like I had a friend of mine call me, man, in the middle of the night, 2:30 in the morning.
You know when that phone rings and it's one of your boys around 2:30 in the middle of the night, you already know.
Dude, I'll tell you right now, man, that one ripped my heart out. And it's a guy that I know well. Phone rings, I pick it up, and I'm like, hey, man. Like I was like, hey, it's Nona. I didn't know who it was. And all I heard on the other end was, tell me it wasn't my fault.
Oh, man.
I was like,
dang it.
Like, damn, man, demons are coming for you. It's like, and it's just like, talk for like 3 hours and sure. It's like, but it's like those are the people. Like if you have a problem, it's like it's really eating you up. Go get some help. Yeah. But all you people faking it
because you need to process. Yeah. You need to process that trash.
Yeah, you need to get that out of you somehow. You need to make sense of it so you can compartment it. It's always going to be part of your history, but it's got to be manageable.
You need a good intellectual construct around it. It's
absolutely
be stronger, really.
Yeah, and all the people that are faking the funk because they think they're going to get VA funds and all that, screw you. Yeah, if you can hear me, screw you. You guys never left the fob. Yeah. Like, I heard a mortar land 580 yards away, and now I can't sleep at night.
Burn them at the stakes. Yeah,
like
I was sitting in a college course and I had to listen to this female Navyman or this Navy girl talk about how she fell down a ladder and now she's fully PTSD'd out getting paid because she can't look at it. I was like, maybe, but like my guys are missing body parts.
Like, I'm like, got people with arms and legs and stuff.
I'm like, God bless you, lady, but I'm just gonna try to stomach this. Yeah, like, give me indigestion. I was having my now with this victim mentality in America, because I mean, even for a couple of my dudes, they were getting out, processing out, doing all their stuff, and they were like, "Oh, you have PTSD," and my dude's looking at them like, "No, I mean, I'm cool," and they're like, "Well, you went on this many patrols,
Yeah, you have to have it.
The lady's like trying to convince him, like, "Yeah, like you," and he's like, I mean, maybe, but I'm okay, I'm good, and she's like, "Oh, well, no, I'm gonna put you down for PTSD," and he had to be like, "Look, lady, no. I'm functional. I'm good. Yeah. I don't want this on my record because," and so now you get back, they try to convince you're broken.
Yeah. They're fishing for a sob story. Yeah. They're like, it's funny because
don't let nobody put no labels on you.
You can't,
especially now.
That should be forever. Right. I had a doubt when I ate that charge and lost my eye.
Yeah,
guy walked in. He's like a psychologist and all. I'm all fucked up. My face all blown apart. 64 fractures from the neck up and a brain hemorrhage. I'm all freaking tore up, and I'm laying in bed. And the guy's like, "Hey, how you doing?" I'm like, my face is blown apart, but I'm alive. So that's a start. Like I was like, I don't know, I'm here. He's like, "Well, how do you feel?" I'm like a brain hemorrhage. How do you think I feel? It's like my head's in a fucking vice. Yeah. And he's like fishing like what? He's like, you have to, you've got to understand that you're different now. And I'm like, I remember like trying to say it, not really being able to say it, but like basically what I said to him was, before my body hit the ground, I knew I was different. It wasn't a surprise. Like when I got there, when I stopped, when I came to rest in the dirt, I knew my shit was weak. Yeah. I was just wondering if I had one of my eyes.
Your life.
I was like, I'm fucked up. And then so I was like, dude, I knew right away that shit was different. Yeah. It's like, and then he was like, I remember him going, well, you seem like you're resisting addressing. I was like, gave me the whole and then he goes, it's okay. He's like, it's okay. You can mourn it and you can cry. Like, it's okay to cry. Like, and I remember telling him like, hey man, there's a bunch of dudes with my blood on their armor. If I'm going to cry, it's going to be by them, not by you.
No, but
like,
get them.
Like, you're not in the club, man. You're not in the club. Sorry.
Yeah,
like,
if
I'm a grown ass man, I'm going to cry about my freaking
my trash.
It ain't gonna be in front of you. It's going to be about dudes that shared that responsibility with me. Otherwise, like I said, I remember like, you're not in the club, man. He was leaving and saw our doc from my unit and asked him about like, hey, I think he's in denial.
Yeah.
What'd he say? He's like, he told me if he was gonna cry in front of anybody, it would be his guys and not you. My doc's like, he's fine.
Yep. Heck yeah, man. Like, that is so valuable.
Like, stop trying to find drama, man. Stop trying to tell, like, you're all fucked up. No, I'm pretty good. No, you're fucked up, bro. You're a mess. Yeah. You're a mess. Like, no, I'm busted up and I'm okay. No. You're like trying to like, stop trying to bring you down, man.
Projecting your emotionalism, feelings first, weak crap onto us.
Dude, that's like,
because we're good. Like,
I knew what I did for a living, man. I knew they paid me extra money, a bunch of extra money to do what I did. Yeah. Because it's dangerous. Yeah. And every once in a while, somebody's got to validate that demo pay. And I did. Like, this is what it is, man. Like, that's why, like, when PTSD, if there is a real PTSD that a guy feels, and I don't mean if as in like it doesn't just, but if you really have PTSD, a lot of times it's because you were under some illusion about what you did. You weren't honest with yourself about it. Yeah. And when it came out and snatched you up, you're trying to cope with that. Yeah. You weren't prepared for it. And it's like, if you think, like I said, a bunch of grown men with guns, go looking for a bunch of other grown men with guns in the dark. If you're wondering how that ends, that's no surprise. You're like, be wondering anymore. Yeah. It's like, and that's, for me, it's like I dealt with non-standard explosives in the dark under pressure. Like there was jeopardy in that, and I was just unfortunate. That's the way it is. So yeah, man. And I with a lot of my psychology stuff and my courses and things like that, going through classes and talking to a lot of different. I'm a double psych major, so I've been swimming around in the psych space for a minute, and a lot of it is, man, the biggest problem I have had is they're trying to like get me to validate these emotions. And I remember one of my professors was like, well, how do you deal with trouble in your life? I'm like, I get into action. I get into high levels of productive action. And they're like, what do you do with your feelings? I'm like, I shut them down until I get done. Yep. And then when I get done, I feel good because I won, or I feel what I need to feel to drive me to learn and not make the same mistakes again. Yep. And she was just like, oh, well, that can't be healthy. I'm like, it's extremely healthy. I was like, what am I going to say here? Take care of your business. I was like, what I'm going to do is I'll write 1 + 1 down on a piece of paper, let everyone cry about it. Yeah. And then also notice that it'll still be there staring at it when they get done crying. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's the thing. It's like you cry about your problem. When you're all done crying and everything, that's great. Your problem's still there. At you. Yeah, it's like, well, okay, I got that out of the way. Now I guess I better get some shit done. Like, there's no substitute for it. And everybody has hard times. Everybody has dark places they go to. Everybody. You gotta, when you least want to do something, when you just want to sit around and feel sorry for yourself, you gotta find something to do. Anything. Get up and do something productive. Right. Make something better in your life, and it'll progress equals happiness. Yeah, it'll show you like, hey, I can. If nothing else, you have the ability at that point to control something in your life. Yeah. I have taken control of my life, and even in the littlest capacity, the smallest capacity, and made it better. Yeah. If you sit around, it only gets worse. It will eat you alive. Oh yeah, it'll destroy you, and that's why I feel bad for guys that don't know or don't have anybody to talk to. Yeah, because it's like, that phone call I got, man. All I got to do is be on the other end of the phone. Yep. Just let them talk. I'm not gonna save you. I'm not gonna solve your problem. I'm not gonna I'm just gonna be there. Just let you off gas a little bit. Let you download a little bit, and then it makes it a little easier to go to sleep, and then the next day is a little easier. But that's something that you're not going to go to somebody and they're going to fix it. You've got to fix it. They can help you, but you've got to fix it. And the whole PTSD thing, the guys that really have troubles with it, you got to get outside yourself. Don't get in your own little ball because it'll consume you. The people faking it, again, screw you. Yeah, screw you. Yeah, we're not even talking to you. Yeah, you're not even in this podcast right now. And you know who you are. You know who you are. Yeah. Making it up like, oh my God. Poor me. Yeah. They had a guy on one of like 60 Minutes or something one time, and he was like, oh yeah, I saw a vehicle got blown up, and they pulled a guy out, and he was on, he was all bleeding, and he was on a stretcher. And basically, they asked him like, well, was your friend yours? Well, no. Well, did you know him? No. Did he die, or I don't know. What? And you're tripping? Yeah, it's like, so what? You got PTSD from a car accident you drove by? Yeah. Like, come on, man. So you're just weak. Yeah. I'm just saying, your mental resilience for even that experience wasn't there. Was there at all? The other thing I find with the PTSD deal is a lot of times there's guys I talk with who have trauma, deep trauma from their childhood. Yeah. And the PTSD gives it an outlet to show up. Yeah. And if that's what you're dealing with, man,
talk to somebody.
You have to deal with the emotional cost of that like separate from what you saw or experienced overseas.
Yeah.
Like you got to go back to the beginning and go, you know what? I had a crappy childhood and and I got to deal with that part first.
Yeah.
And invariably dealing with that will begin either deal with or begin dealing with the other stuff that you saw.
Yeah, those coping skills.
Yeah. Because they're the same coping skills.
Exactly.
So you're just, now you've exercised them in the non-combative history of your childhood. And then you exercise them there. There are ways to get beyond these things. They're still part of your life. They're part of your history. You can't erase them completely, but you make friends with your demons and it's okay. But if you're constantly fighting them, they always win.
Well, and they either, honestly, and I feel like they either make you stronger or they make you weaker. And you kind of choose what you're going to extract from this. Like you're the alchemist. Like you make a decision, if you don't make a decision, it's probably making you weaker. If you choose to be like, you know what, if nothing else, this didn't kill me, I'm still here after getting hit by this IED and after outlasting the rape or whatever it is, I'm stronger. You
don't let, like, I actually know, I've known a couple people that were real close to me throughout my life that were talking about rape, that were raped. And they're all pretty damn strong. And one of the things that every one of them independently said was that in the end, I would not let that person win by letting them destroy my life. I survived and I wouldn't give them the final victory.
Yeah.
The final victory was I'm going to be, as normal and regular as I can possibly be. I'm not going to let this person who did this to me, rob me of that joy. They dealt with it. They're like, okay, that's part of my life now. I learned from it and I'm going to go for it. That's the same. That's
same principle.
Same principle. Yeah.
Exactly.
Don't let, yesterday rob tomorrow's joy, no matter what the reason is. You don't have to. And so if you need somebody to talk to, find somebody to talk to. It's like, but don't
deal with it yourself.
Yeah. Do it. You're the one that's got to do it. You've got to decide that I can't let my history in whatever capacity, whatever it is, it's stuff you saw overseas or things from your child, whatever it is, don't let that poison tomorrow for you. Don't let it rob tomorrow of what it should be for you. And that's one of those things that's just like that's an age old lesson, man. It's nothing new.
There ain't nothing new under the sun, man.
Nothing.
What was, what was it like with your rehab and your eye and your injury and getting blown up and all that stuff?
It was hard. That was a rough, because I was at the top. I did well in OTC. I didn't just barely make it through. I did pretty damn good.
Yeah.
And it was a tough crowd. I was proud of myself. It's like I worked hard. I did well. I was happy with it.
You got records over at Recon for swimming and things.
I did well. And in a millisecond, I was maimed and out of a job. Boom. And the time it takes, 3 strands of dead cord blow off. Yeah, it's like poof, I'm gone. And I was fortunate that I was Mike Pannone, who was an assaulter.
Okay.
I was not an assaulter who happened to be Mike Pannone on his off time.
Boom.
Yeah. And so it's like my personality wasn't my job. It was a part of it. Your identity. Me. Yeah. My identity wasn't so intertwined with my job that when you took my job away, that you took my identity. Everything. Yeah. And it's like, so it was hard. I mean, I remember September 11th, seeing the planes at the buildings and like, the game's on, man. Super Bowl's on. And I was on the Super Bowl team and I'm hurt now. I'm no longer on. And that was hard, man. That was hard. I mean, and
you weren't even in the sidelines, you're in the stands.
Yeah, I was in the stands. I was watching. And that's when I was like, I said it before. I was like, I'm going to find a way into the fight with a rifle in my hands. I will find a way into this somehow. I will get involved in this in some capacity. And it's easier than I thought. Yeah. It's like all of a sudden I've got phone calls and there's people that, you've got a skill set, you've got a ton of training that they can still use. And just, in some ways in a different capacity. And then when I went over the last year in 2005, when I went over, I was effectively doing what an SF guy would do. I was an advisor, I was a ground combat advisor doing counter ID stuff. And I was functioning just like I would if I was an SF attached to a regular unit.
Heck yeah.
So it's like, I got to do all that, which I thought was kind of cool because I'm wearing digis and I got a freaking rifle. I'm out with the Marines. And that's where I started.
So it's full circle.
Yeah. I was like, here I am with a freaking Marine Corps uniform with a rifle with the Marines doing the biz. I'm like, damn.
Heck yeah.
Isn't that interesting?
So it's like your identity, your identity. So you knew who you were.
Yes.
You had the add-on of your accomplishments. Mm-hmm. These are like peripheral aspects of your identity.
Absolutely.
Those get taken away. And because you know who you are, you're able to recreate, like, this came out of you. You know,
yeah, you can stand alone. Yeah, you can stand alone emotionally when you remove that, because you know who you are.
And knowing who you are, you can recreate.
You can create a new version. Like, you want. I tell people my life bifurcated. Like, there's that 0406, man, boom, there's an explosion, and the old mic stopped and the new mic started.
Boom.
That's like, I just, my one life ended right there. That was the end of my, I mean, I was still in the military after that and stuff, but it was like, I was on my way out.
Yeah.
And so my military life basically ended that night. And then my life kept going in another direction. And I still wound up being around the same people. I was still carrying a gun, doing the biz. I was overseas at 3 or 4 or 5. It was difficult initially.
Yeah.
But I was fortunate. I was fortunate that I was confident. I had my own personality aside from my work personality. Because everybody has a work personality, and there's a way that you have to conduct yourself in your professional affairs.
Yeah.
That's not the same as you do just on your own time.
Just with the boys.
But yeah, exactly. but I knew who that guy was still. And I like I said, it was hard initially. It was really hard initially. Once I got back into it, I was fine. I literally was like, getting the freaking antidote, man. And I'm all of a sudden I got a rifle in my hands and I'm in Iraq in 03. I'm like, okay, I'm back. I'm back where I'm supposed to be. And it was, it was fine. But yeah, a lot of guys that if your personality gets so intertwined with your job, when they take your job away or when you leave, eventually everybody retires or leaves. All of a sudden you're like, you can't constantly keep selling that you were this guy or that guy.
No one cares anymore. They're tired of your stories.
Bro. Yeah, like exactly. It's like the guy talking about the throwing the winning touchdown in high school. Like, dude, it's like, dude, you're 49.
No one cares anymore.
Yeah, it's like 30 years ago, that was still an old story.
Yeah, you got to come up with some new good old days.
Yeah,
The mission is to now come up with new good old days, because progress equals happiness.
Oh, absolutely.
Dude, that's huge. That's huge, man. Because a lot of guys, they over-identify with what they've done and where they've been. They lose that. What I call, and what I wrote about in my book, Finding Meaning After the Military, is the atrophy of identity.
Yeah.
You get out, and that identity of, I used to be this, I used to be that. You're having that John Rambo moment at the end of the movie, and you're talking about all this used to be's. And that guy's dying. Like, that guy's dying every single minute that you're out here in the civilian world. And when that guy, you look in the mirror and you got that pot belly because you've been drinking, and you're telling stories, and you look in people's eyes, you don't think they even really necessarily believe you. And that old glorious you would be ashamed of the you've become. That's when you start your pistol one day when you're by yourself under a bottle of wild turkey or whatever it is.
Yeah, it's when you give up.
Yeah.
Like, you just mail it and you're like, you know what, it's not fun anymore. Yeah. And I'm out.
And you died long before that moment.
Yeah, you were on your way. You started the journey there because you didn't want to let go what was no longer there. I'm proud of what I did. I'm proud of who I was in another life. I'm proud of the guys that I served with.
Yeah.
In everywhere in reconnaissance and in SF and at the unit. They're some of the best people I've ever been around. And I to this day, I am fortunate to have had the path that I had and to have been with the people that I was with, to have served with them. I mean, when I retired, it's like I said in my ceremony, like, it was an honor to walk amongst you and carry a rifle and know that you trusted me. Like, it meant the world to me that they would trust me with their life. And that means something. Now, that said, that's gone. That's over now. And now I'm somebody else. I'm Kayla's dad, and I have my own business, and I'm doing other stuff. I'm no more or no less honorable. I'm the same guy. I'm just, my application is different. I'm doing different things now. I still have to, me personally, I have to have something in my life that is, that is bigger than me. I like to have a mountain to climb or something that I'm dedicated to. And I'm fortunate I have a daughter, a 10-year-old daughter. And that's one thing that has a huge emphasis in my life. And the other side is my business and what I do, because I pass on skills that I learned that were hard-earned, things that are difficult, and an understanding of the application of those skills that only comes with experience and mistakes.
Yeah.
And so it's like, I'm fortunate. I have two things. I have a daughter, which is completely separate from everything. That's a whole different thing. Yeah. And then I have on the other side, the professional side, where I'm still involved with the things that I spent my whole life doing. And now I'm helping others learn and perfect and refine them. So
that's awesome.
But you got to find that. It doesn't
just happen.
Yeah, it doesn't just happen.
For Hollywood, bro. Yeah, I mean, it's attrition, atrophy, extinction is the default. You better get it going.
Exactly.
God's currency.
You're on the clock, man.
Yeah, bro.
Every day that you're not like just start in a direction. Look at something that you want to do. I've told a couple people that are setting up businesses and stuff. Well, I want to do this and I want to do that. And tell them, find what you love to do and be exceptional at it.
Yeah.
Don't be good at it. There's lots of people out there that are good at stuff.
Yeah.
There's only a handful of people that are exceptional. And if you're exceptional at something, people pay exceptionally well.
Yes.
But
that's true.
If you're good at something, there's a lot of people that are good, they pay okay.
Yeah. And you can compete with all the good people now.
Yeah. That big pool of good people. Yeah. But the exceptional people get paid exceptionally well, and they have exceptional success, and they have exceptional fulfillment. They're happy with what they've done.
Relationship.
Yeah, it's like
up there with those people, other people.
Yeah, I agree. So it's like that's whatever you want to do. Like guys that are getting out now, listen to this, man. Find a direction. Find something you want to do, and be friggin' great.
Yeah.
Be the dude that like, wow, that Army dude, or that Marine, or that sailor, that Air Force guy, that guy's freaking unbelievable. Yeah. He's really good. If you're just going to college, if you're working trades or whatever you're doing, be great. Be someone that they talk about. Like, wow, that guy's, he's always early. He's always got everything squared away. He's always like, he's always polite. He's just a nice guy. Focus on it. Even if you got to fake it till you make it.
Dude, that's how you get there. Happen with all of it, man. That's how you get there.
Just, be that guy. Just decide to figure out what like in your perfect world, what would you look like at the end of it? Like, who would I want to be?
Who do you want to be in 5 years?
And then be it. Nothing, be it. Like you can do that. Yeah. Start now. Have goals. And when those goals are just part of the journey. They're not a destination. You don't get there and go, I achieved my goal. I'm done. No. As soon as okay, I achieved this goal. What's my next one?
Yeah. Present purpose, battles in a war. Those are just little battle skirmishes. Every 24 hours of skirmish, you know what I mean? And we're going somewhere.
The key is action. You have to lean into life. You can't wait around like people say, oh man, it's such a good deal, or he got such a good deal. No, you create your good deals.
Yeah, and he was able to hold up. He was able to be the person that good deal required in that moment, which he built. Mm-hmm. So it's like proper planning meets opportunity. Like homie, the proper planning part, there ain't no participation trophies there. Yeah, no. Because the blessing or the opportunity will effing crush you, embarrass you, or kill you if you're not the person you need to be in that moment.
That's fact. And mercilessly.
Yeah, it will crucify you, like you were saying. Like, reality crucifies
illusions, man. Right? Oh, it does. It does. Man. But that's why the whole week going, talking to PTSD and all that stuff. Yeah. It's you gotta deal with you have to deal with your demons. You gotta look and go, what's bothering me? Yeah. What is it that actually bothers me? Mm-hmm. And if you made a mistake, then you gotta come to grips with it and go, hey man, I made a mistake and I'm not going to make it again. Yep. Everybody does. Everybody makes mistakes. And so deal with it and compartment it and go, okay, this is in the history box and that's where it stays. Because it's not doing you any good. What does you good is what you learned from that. Exactly. What did I get out of that?
That's the goal.
Yeah. And the rest of it, re-lamenting the mistake. Guess what? It's done. I'll never do that again.
Yeah.
Whether it's a business mistake or an operational mistake or a relationship mistake, whatever it is you made, just go, I'm never going to do that again.
Ever. Like I'll let it hurt bad enough to where I know I won't forget it.
Yep.
I'll let it hurt bad enough to where it's like, I will let it sting. Let it sting good. And then we're turning the page, rounds down range. All I can do is aim better this next time and whip it on. What keeps you going these days?
Well, my daughter, one. I mean, that's always here. Yeah, I have a daughter. I want to set the example for her. I want her to see her dad always working hard and doing the best he can. That's just a parent's thing. Like you always want to do that. And for me, I still believe in what I do. I genuinely believe in it. It's like I see guys out there, and there's a lot of people out there peddling, smoking magic beans and
trying
stuff.
To make them cash.
Yeah, trying to make cash. And we all work for money. Like that currency is what you need to live. Right. But I won't do it. I won't pour myself out, and I won't teach things that I know don't work, or I won't teach things that I can't prove will work. And so there's a lot of people in the industry that still the industry is so freaking big now. The training industry is massive. When I first started out, after I left AWG, it was 2007, and it was basically like, Larry Vickers, Kyle Lamb, Paul Howe, Jeff Claggett. Like there was like eight people maybe that were in the training world. There really wasn't that much. Yeah, everybody, every swinging Richie out there is freaking got a shingle out, and he's a trainer.
Yeah,
Byron, like okay.
And nowadays it's even worse.
In their quest to do that, a lot of them have just made stuff up.
Yeah.
Like made techniques up and made things, and you're like,
everyone's like, it's like I would imagine like the martial arts mode.
Yes.
Everyone's like coming up with their,
kung fu,
the swan style,
yeah,
and the monkey style, and it's like, yo, is this dude in his garage coming up with styles? Yeah, like you try that on the street, like you have pose and it works. Are you sure?
Yeah, like that's exactly it, man. It's like everybody's got their brand of kung fu, and I'm like, dude,
right?
Yeah, like, and so it's I see a lot of that. Some don't know, and some do. Mm-hmm. And they make up these stylized, really like snap and pop kind of flashy. I'm like,
yeah, right.
You know,
the katas, the range katas.
Yeah, it's like back to the magic is there's no magic.
Yeah,
it's simple stuff, man. This isn't hard. Yeah. Doing it under pressure, precisely on demand. Yeah, that's hard. Yeah, but the actual mechanics of it, they're not really difficult. To get you there is what's difficult. To teach someone, and that's where people like me, have excelled, because I can explain why it works. I can explain how it works. I can, I spend time going to university talking to like neuropsychologists and all kinds. Like I want to understand why. How do I learn the way I learn? Why do I learn this way? What is what all these sayings we have like perfect practice makes perfect. Well, why is that? Well, there's an actual way. Like from neural patterning, there's a reason why. Yeah. And so it's like there's a lot of little sayings we have that are actually valid, but people don't even know why. And then like the whole, like when you start seeing people using terms incorrectly, like everybody talks, the big one that I've already run off the mouth on before is the whole fine versus gross motor skills. Well, it's a fine motor skill. Well, it's a gross motor skill. Okay. Like a fine motor skill is the fine muscles in the fingers and the thumb in conjunction with your vision to conduct a fine task, like buttoning or threading a needle. A gross motor skill are large muscle groups. Yeah. It's like people when they talk about firearms manipulation, you can't use a slide stop because it's a fine motor skill. Well, it's actually not. By definition, it's not. Mm-hmm. You can't use the bolt release on an M4 or an M16 because it's a fine motor skill. No, it's not.
No, but you do. Like you can.
Yeah, like, people do it all the time. Like it's not a fine motor skill. It's actually a gross motor skill. But people use a term to justify their technique, and they don't know what the term is. Their technique is substandard. So it's like I see things that people do, and I'm like, why are you complicating something? Why are you complicating something that's not? Or why are you using a term and you don't even know what the term means? Yeah. I mean, I see there's.
So it's like Jesus. My people perish for lack of knowledge.
Yeah, exactly. Like, oh my God. Yeah. But I see a lot of that out there, and so I look at it as it's a duty to me because I actually know why shit works. Yeah. Like I won't sit there and say I don't put anything out unless I tell people clear, concise, unambiguous, and unassailable. Mm-hmm. Like if I say this is why I do it, and this you can say I've got another technique and I'm going to do it that way because I want to do it that way, but you're not going to sit there and look at it and go that doesn't make sense or that's wrong or that's inefficient.
And have you not be able to articulate it?
Yeah. You sit there in front of them and say this is why I do it. This is why it works. Yeah. This is why I don't do this. This is why everything that I do or don't do, I can tell you exactly why, and I can tell you based on kinesiology or performance enhancement psychology or neuropsychology. I've spent the time to research like, okay, I can do this, and they say I can't do it. Why? Yeah. Like. And talk to when I did the fine and gross motor skills, I wrote a white paper 11 years ago about it. Wow. And I'm like, I went to the Department of Kinesiology and said, okay, this is what I do. I can do this. And they say I can't do it because it's a fine motor skill. And the doctor's like, but it's not a fine motor skill. That's why. Well, there we go.
Finally someone knows. Yeah, right.
Yeah, it's like, no, that's not. He gave me the definition. This guy, Sandrock, wrote a book. He's like, read this book. It's all about human development, muscular development. And I read it. And I'm like, we've been saying, and I was guilty of it. Yeah. We've been saying things that were incorrect, and we've been saying them with conviction. Yeah. And like
tactical dogma.
Yeah, exactly. And I'm like the piss in the punch bowl guy now. I'm like, no, that's bullshit. And they're like
this guy.
Like that guy. Yeah,
it's like this was so cool. Everyone was gonna believe me.
Yeah, I'm like, oh my God.
Yeah, I had Pat Mack on here a few days ago, and he said the same thing. He's like, if I'm doing it, I can articulate it. It's clear, concise, and there's no smoke and mirrors. And I'll get out there and I'll sweat and I'll show you and whatever. Boom.
Absolutely.
Like, okay. Heck yeah.
And that comes from, Mac and I were teammates actually at Delta. Yeah. But, that comes from being in that organization. Because you whip some bullshit out, dude, you'd be like, name that too.
Prove it. Yeah.
What you got? Like,
bump you, show me.
Anything you say, like, oh yeah, boxing is not as good as jiu-jitsu because I'll just take you to the ground. And you have dudes in boxing, you'd be like, yo, Jits, man, let's go upstairs. Let's see how this works out. Like, dudes will go at it, man. I've watched it. Guys go, hey, we got a mat room upstairs. Let's see how jiu-jitsu fares against boxing. Like, But if you say something, you better know what's up because someone's going to ask you.
Yeah. That litmus test is right there.
It's right. And then you're like, people stop you right there and go, I'm going to call bullshit on you right now.
Yeah.
Like, and now you're obligated.
And now you gotta put up or shut up.
Yeah. So it's like that's why that was never tolerated in that building. Like, you were not allowed to throw out some smoke and magic beans. Or people like, dude, shut up, new guy.
Yeah.
Like,
you don't get to say yet.
Yeah. You're not on the talking circuit yet. But it's like, that was another thing when you asked early on about that being in that building, man, being in that unit.
Yeah.
Like you measure your words because someone's going to call you on it. If you say something, think before you speak because you can't unspeak that shit.
Like bullets and words, man. You can't get them back.
Yep. So it's like, dude, like before you say a word, I remember his call sign was Ninja. But anyway, he was one of our when he was a 2IC on the team I went to. We called him Ninja because the dude was like, he never looked like he was moving fast when he did CQB. But dude was always there.
But it was happening.
It was always happening. He was always the guy. He always had it going on. You're like, where? Like, shit. He's like, damn. Like, he just floated around like a ready ghost. Dude was just, he never looked like he was moving fast, but he was always moving fast.
Times. Yeah.
Yeah. I was like, holy crap.
Yeah.
So, it was like, what do you call it? That he walked in, when I first walked in, he's like, here's your team briefing. Here's all your shit. Blah, blah. He's like, just shut the hell up for a while. If you got a question, ask me on the side so you don't look like an idiot. Like, if we're not doing it, you're like, we're not doing it, there's a reason we're not doing it. And somebody
and you just don't know yet.
Yeah, you don't know yet. So ask me why. Don't tell me your answer. I'm like, okay.
Okay, that's awesome.
Yeah, man. He's still a busy dude, but man, he was a good freaking guy. And he was a great guy to learn from because he was really even keel. He's real low key.
Those are good.
He's one of those guys, man. He was like, he's a freaking killer, man. He was like,
don't get it twisted.
And he was smart. He was just smooth. Like he had no sharp edges. Like I said, I remember watching the first time we freaking doing CQB, and I was like, this looks like he floats. Like, damn, like he's just smooth.
Dance,
like,
right?
No O's and smooth.
That's what's up.
He's like I said, he pulled me aside. It's like somebody thought of that before. Like we got some pretty smart dudes here. So if you think you're the good idea guy, just stand by here. Like stand easy on the side. Ask me, and I'll tell you why we don't do it that way, or what, you know?
Yeah, or why it's not being done.
Yeah,
you're not that smart. Yeah. What's it all for, man? What at the end of the day, what do you want to be remembered? If there's one thing you were remembered for, what do you want it to be?
And in the community, and
just in life, people think Mike's
a decent guy, man. That's a good guy. I'm a goofy bastard, you know that. Yeah. But I'm a goofy bastard. I've always been. Yeah. And so like. I'm consistently a goofy bastard. Like I would like to be remembered as just a decent guy that worked hard. That's it. Everything else is what it is, you know?
Yeah.
And there's a lot there's I don't look at it and go, oh, my legacy is going to be, I'm the guy that did this or that. I'm just another freaking name on the planet doing the best I can. I would just want to be remembered like, I remember Pannone, he was a good dude. He was legitimately a good guy. And that's it. That's as good as you're going to get, man. I'm not like
a good guy.
Unless I come up with a cure for cancer or something like that.
Then pay me.
Price tag. Some people get too caught up in like, my legacy is going to be this. Like, dude, the people that know you, your legacy is going to be whether you're a jackass or you're a good guy.
Yeah.
If you're the guy that answered the phone at 2:30 in the morning, people remember that shit.
Heck yeah.
If you're with somebody's tight and you can help them out, and it's a little bit of a hardship on you, but it's a real hardship on them if you don't. Yeah. The guy that comes through, the guy that I mean, I've done this with people. Loans you that money when he really shouldn't, but he does anyway, and he doesn't ask you when you're going to pay it back because he knows you're going to pay it back as soon as you can.
Yeah.
Like there's some things that you do as a freaking man, people remember that stuff.
Preaching that good stuff, man. I'm right there with you, bro. That good dude currency is like, and
that comes back, man. I've had some hard times. I've had some hard times in my life, since I left the Army, and shit gets a little dicey, and the phone will ring. It's like, hey, bro, how's it going? It's like, hey, man, what's up? I hadn't talked to you in a while, man. I haven't seen you since whatever, 4, 5, 6 years ago.
Yeah.
It's like, hey, you need this? Like, I got something for you. If you got people will come out of nowhere when they hear you got a rough time.
Yeah.
Because they remember when they had a rough time,
you were there.
That you answered the phone.
Yeah.
And it's weird because the friends that you have aren't necessarily always the people that are around you all the time.
Yeah.
They're the people that value you and that you showed value for them. And so they'll come out of nowhere. They'll step out of nowhere and go, hey man, I heard you had some rough times. I got you.
Yeah.
And it's like, that's how you know. And so it's like, that's why, remember Frank, he was a decent guy.
Yep.
He's a decent guy. That's as good as you can get. The rest of it is, it's fluff.
Yeah. Good guy. And you put out, and you freaking whipped it on.
Yeah, man.
Yeah. That's good to go, man. That's good to go. Daily rituals or habits that you think make you a better person. That people, that you'd want to pass.
I get one of the things that I do, and it's like personally, I've done it for actually quite a while, but get up in the morning. First thing I do, I get up in the morning, roll out of my freezer rack, and I do 50 push-ups.
Boom.
Just get out. It's like, hey, that's me. That's my dedication to the day. That's like, I get up and the first thing I'm going to do, the alarm goes off and I feel like crap and I was in REM sleep and I'll get out and do 50 freaking good push-ups. Yeah. And it's like, it's a reminder. It gets your body going, but it's a reminder. It's dedication to the day. It's like the day doesn't care that I'm sleepy.
Yeah.
It's like, guess what? The day doesn't care.
Right.
So it's like, hey, roll out, do your 50 push-ups. You never feel worse when you're done.
Yeah, that's true.
It's one of the things that I do, that's one thing. And in the summertime, the water's warm anyway. Yeah. But in the wintertime, my first shower in the morning is ice cold.
Dang it, man. The ice cold shower again. Oh, I keep getting that one. I hate cold water. And that's why Dad used to make me take these cold showers. I'd be in there showering, Dad would walk in like, son, what's this water on here all cold, all hot for? And he'd walk in and turn it to ice cold. He'd be like, cold shower's good for you, son. And I would just sit there, Daddy, no. Yeah.
Well, it's like I'm doing it my own choice.
Yeah.
You know what? To me, it actually, there's a bunch of studies behind taking like people take ice baths and a good friend of mine, Danny Doman from
therapy behind
Danny from Defense Targets, Danny Doman, another Recondo. Yeah. He got me turned on to it, and it's like it releases all kinds of like hormones. So like it's actually good for you. It cuts down inflammation. For me, it jolts me wide awake, and it's a reminder that I didn't always have hot water. Like washing with water bottles out by the at the fob, man, getting rid of a firm base, washing with water bottles and pits and parts and going at it.
Wet naps if you can find it. If you're lucky, you got the wet naps still.
It's a reminder that it's cold water. But it's water.
Yeah.
It's actual
running water.
Yeah, running water. And like, if I want, I could make it warm. But it's just a reminder. It's like, hey, man, there's a lot of hardship out there in the day that you don't have to deal with. Your life's pretty damn good. It's like, it's all those little reminders each day, because if not, there'll be little reminders of what you don't have.
Yeah.
What you like.
Your psychology will tip the other direction.
Oh, hell yeah. Well, it goes one way. You're either driving in the positive direction or you're driving in the negative direction. Yeah. You don't stay on the flat and narrow. It never happens. No. It's like a relationship. Like, if you're in a relationship with somebody, you're either growing together or you're growing apart.
Yeah.
But there's no parallel.
Yeah.
So, and the default is always to grow apart. It's like,
the extinction is the default.
Exactly, man.
It's like atrophy, man. Yeah.
That's why I say, your default position is to be negative as humans. Yeah. It really is. You've got to force yourself you've got to restructure your mind so your default is positive. Everybody struggles with it. I'm not like, turn that frown upside down, trooper. I'm not that freaking guy. But I know that when you feel like crap, it's like the whole gym thing. And you and I have talked about it. When you least want to go to the gym, you're like, man, I feel like crap. I'm all tore up from leg day, and I'm like, I'm tired, and I got up a little late. It's like, guess what? Get your ass to the gym. That's the day you have to go.
Yeah, that's the character building day right there. Yeah.
That's what it's like. Okay, let's see who you really are.
Yeah. Once it gets hard.
When it's easy, everybody signs up.
Oh yeah.
It's like when it's hard, when it's uncomfortable, when it's a rainy morning in January, and you're like trying to go to the gym, you're like, God dang, it's cold. It's like 43 degrees in freaking Orange County, and it's raining. I'm in California, and this is bullshit. Guess what? Jock up and get your ass to the gym. Yeah. It'll be empty.
Yes, it will.
But you'll be glad you're there.
Yeah, heck yeah, man. That's good to go, man. That's good stuff. Mental strength. The internal strength, the cold showers. I might have to get me some cold showers.
I'm reading a bunch. I'm written by an actual neuropsychologist.
Yeah,
it's called The Things You Tell Yourself.
Okay,
and it's about mental patterning, about how you pattern yourself with your thoughts. And it's not kumbaya, like, freaking, I'm a good person, people like me. It's what you think about drives how you act and how you respond. And how you respond drives your result. Your results drive how you think. It's a vicious cycle. Yeah. And you either feed it positively or negatively. And that's like I said, it's not that turn that frown upside down, trooper. It's none of that shit. It's like, hey man, I can think about positive things, and that's where my mind is focused. I'm imagining them. Or I can think about negative things, and that's where my mind is focused. And I'm imagining them, and I'm executing them. Yeah.
Those are my reality now.
Yep. I'm driving in a direction. I get to pick it.
Yeah.
So do I pick a positive direction? Yeah, I may not get exactly there, but I'm heading in that direction. Yeah. Otherwise, and the downhill slope's easy.
Yeah, it's a drifting. Like either driving deliberately or you're drifting.
Exactly. One's passive. That's a good point. One's passive and one's active.
Yeah.
Active, positivity, having a positive,
deliberate thing.
A positive outlook that's an active thing. That's something you have to activate. Because you know what? I mean, I know you do. I don't wake up every morning feeling wonderful and great and chipper.
You
can't
always do that.
Sometimes I wake up with I'm pissed off and this bullshit and I'm tired and I got this to do. It's it's early and it's like, oh, my shoulder's killing me. And you know what? Nobody cares.
Nobody cares. Yeah, exactly.
Hey, man, it's and then when you're fighting it, you're fucking yourself the whole way to the gym or the whole way to wherever you're going. And you get there and you're like halfway through, you're like, damn, I'm glad I did this.
Yeah.
And at the end, you're like, hell yeah, I did this. And then you got to have a little real talk with yourself, like, dude, you almost didn't do this. So
get back down here.
Get up there, tough guy.
Yeah. Tomorrow's coming.
Yeah,
it's already halfway here, right?
Yeah, it's on its way for you. We'll see.
Yeah.
That's why that fitness part of it. Fitness is an easy way to exercise and demonstrate your self-discipline
and your character.
Your character. Dude, there's one thing that you can do. There's one single thing that you can do that enhances every single thing in your life, and it's fitness. Everything.
So
you do math better with less mistakes, faster. You read faster with better comprehension. You sleep better. You wake up more refreshed.
Yeah.
You have
you're more confident.
You have better sex. You have your whole life. Every freaking thing in your life that you want to be good is better being fit.
Yeah.
So what the hell? The one thing you could do to make your life better, and
in every way.
It. Yeah, everything. It covers everything. There isn't anything in your life that fitness detracts from. Nothing. So think about that. Think about that, all you people in podcast land.
Yeah.
One thing you can do.
Yeah, man.
Everything about your life is enhanced by taking care of your freaking temple, man.
Heck yeah.
That's and you won't do it. Why? Because discipline. You know it's right.
Oh, yeah.
You know it's right.
Yeah. This is just like right back at the beginning. You already know what you need to do.
What's that? What? I mean, dude, think about, I've got to go back to our roots, bro. Think about boot camp in the Marine Corps. It was all about discipline.
All of it.
It was all about discipline. And I was like, man, what's up with these dudes? This discipline thing. I was
get off it.
God damn it. But dude, that is
everything.
It's everything. It's the glue that holds a successful life together.
Absolutely.
It is the freaking epoxy that holds it together.
If there's one trait you can have, man. Like I say, even God can't help you if you ain't got no discipline. David wouldn't have picked up the stones. He wouldn't have fought Goliath. Moses wouldn't have done nothing. No one would have done nothing.
Nope. They'd be like, oh man, that's kind of hard.
That's scary.
It's funny. It's people talk about you got discipline and fortitude. Fortitude is discipline.
Yeah.
Same thing.
All good traits come out of discipline.
Yeah, discipline is everything. Because you know how many people you see in your life that they're we talk about answer shopping, trying to find tell me what I want to hear.
I'm scared for those people, man, because what they're really having is a discipline crisis.
Yeah.
And you either it takes a special person to have the wisdom to just implement the discipline because they need to. This is wisdom in my opinion.
Yes.
Most people need a painful, precipitating event in order to get them there to where they're like, oh my gosh, if I don't do this, I'm going to pay for it. And then they start to be disciplined. And that is the mercy of life acting on them. Being like, hey, look, if you can't figure this out, you're going to die. Yeah. And here's a little pain.
Boom.
And now
reminder.
And then you start doing what you're supposed to do. If you don't figure this out, you're going to lose your family, you're going to lose your house, you're going to lose your job. Okay. And then you're like, oh no. If you're a wise person, you can see that heat around the corner and you can start implementing that discipline.
Before it's on you.
Yeah, man.
It's hard to get off you.
Yeah, right. And you don't want to be moving behind that power curve. And that's what I always say. Dudes are like, oh, the Marine Corps and da-da-da. I'm like, dude, Marine Corps gave me one thing. And I felt like I walked out in Marine Corps with this little nest egg of discipline. And all I've been doing is trying not to lose it and build it into a little fire and protect it. And I still wake up and try to hit that gym. And I know. There's a fat version of me chasing me.
Oh, yeah.
Run me down. Fat, broke version of me chasing me, dude.
No shit.
And my little disciplined nest egg is my only hope for not, And then if you want to do anything great, it's going to take a lot of that trash, a lot of that discipline, man.
Dude, I remember.
That's what separates the men from the boys.
Oh, it totally does. I remember when I was in 2nd Recon.
Yeah.
The 2nd Recon Battalion, he had Gunny Duke was one of our guys. He was a legendary guy anyway.
Okay.
And I was bitching about something, and he was there. He was like, come here.
Uh-oh.
Pannone.
Oh, boy, Gunny's got you.
Yeah, he's like, look at you. Oh my God. He's like, look at your uniform. Look at your boots. Look at your haircut.
Tighten up a little bit.
He's like, hey, check it out. Here's the deal. When you start feeling shitty and you start bitching about the Corps and all that, it's like, go ahead and take a look in the mirror. It's like, you probably don't even look like a Marine. And I was like, he's like, so go get yourself freaking fresh haircut,
yeah,
and a pressed uniform and shine boots. And if you look like a Marine, you might just act like one. Because right now you don't look like one, you ain't acting like one.
Discipline's jammed up.
Yeah, like it's like you are acting undisciplined. You look undisciplined, and now you're acting it.
Yeah,
and it was weird because I was like, yeah, I'm gonna put on spits and starch, and I'm gonna look all that, and I'm gonna think. And I remember doing it because it was like a suggestion.
Yeah, Gunny's not.
Suggested shit. Yeah, if you got time, go ahead and spread your shit away. Like, but I remember thinking like, if you do it, and I had a sergeant major in the Army do the same thing. He's a ranger in Vietnam and stuff. It's like, hey, if you freaking have a square away uniform and shine boots and a square away beret, and you look like a fucking Green Beret, you'll act like one. If you look like a bag of trash, you'll act like a bag of trash. And it's personal discipline. You project who you are. And if you're looking all ratty and all unkept and stuff, that's who you are. That's what they see.
When I look at you, I see your standards, man.
Yeah. So it's like, and that it's all discipline that is the single most important trait I believe in anyone.
Yeah.
Because it's if you have discipline, then everything that you do, you decided to do, and everything that you didn't do, you decided not to do. Good or bad. I'm not saying you're going to be, Jesus' twin brother or anything, but you are making decisions. If you're not going to do something, you've decided. You've had discipline. You say, you know what? I don't want to do that. I'm not. That's fine. But it's the people that are they're always looking for the easy button.
Yeah.
Like, where's the easy button? I want to punch that thing. I'm in. Like, you see it in everything. They don't want to do the work, but they want the benefit. And that laziness is what? A lack of discipline.
A lack of discipline. And it's dangerous, man. Because it just makes you mediocre and you never get anywhere.
Yeah.
Because you're not able to face it. Face yourself, punch yourself in the face, go get punched in the face for what you want.
You won't sacrifice because sacrifice takes discipline. There we are with that word again. Right. Yeah, that's why, what do you want out of life, man? Like, what do you want? You want to have a successful job or business. You want to be fit. You want to have a good relationship with, a man or woman, if whoever you are out there, whatever it's chicks and dudes, like whatever you want out of life. It doesn't just happen. Like you got to earn that shit.
Yeah.
And it's like, and it's the discipline to do the things that have to be done, to wake up in the morning and go, there's a bunch of trash that I don't want to do today.
Yeah.
That I have to do today.
I have to.
So I might as well put a smile on and do it because it's going to have to get done. So I can lament it and I can whine over it. I can just go, you know what? I should do it and do it.
And I can cry and then feel good about myself, feel confident. Like Jocko says it, man, the best, like everything you want in life is on the other side of your discipline.
Yeah, it is. It's work. There's a hill in between you and it says work on it.
Yeah.
Like you got
to pay the cost.
Yeah. And it's like, it is, you have to want to be that person. Somebody asked me just recently, asked me about selection when I went through, when I went through SF selection and adult selection, when I went through INDOC and recon and stuff like that. I wanted what was on the other side of it. And I wasn't quite sure what it was yet, but I wanted it and I was willing to pay up for it. I was willing to pay up to see if it was as good as I thought it was. And it was. Each time I went through another one. It's like guys who quit all the time. I'm like, I want to see what's on the other side of this. And in between me and that is some hard work and some discipline to stick to it. I gotta nut up and do my job. Like my job right now is to carry really heavy stuff for 10 kilometers, like an SFAS. It's an ugly ass apparatus you got to put on your back and crazy shit you got to carry. Like, guess what? It sucks. Yes. That's the point.
Yeah. And that's what weeds everybody out.
Yeah. To see if you really want it. When I went to Delta selection, it's like, this is going to hurt. Like this at the end of it, the last part of it, that the long walk at the end, dude, that shit's like, you're walking like, I remember talking to my leg going like, hey man, like giggling, like stupid, tired and beat up. Like, I don't know why you guys are still going, but thanks, man. Like, conversation with my leg. Like, thanks for sticking with me. I couldn't have done it without you. Like, I just look like crazy fucking like, dude, like a Vader, like under a bridge with my shopping cart. Like, But dude, I wasn't going to stop. Because I had the self-discipline, the personal discipline, which is translated into fortitude. It's just, I was, as long as my legs would move, I would keep moving them. Yeah. It's like the people that quit in general lacked the discipline to stick it out. They wanted it. They wanted it until it got hard.
Yeah.
And like, if your legs can still move, then keep walking.
Heck yeah. If you're waking up in the morning, then keep fighting.
Yeah. It's weird that it condenses down to that. And you and I see, because we're both from the Corps, man. It's like it was pounded into us. And when we first, like you said, we're like, what's up with it? He's up on the discipline. Like,
yeah. When you first get there, you're like, this is crazy. They're gonna kill me with discipline.
Dude, I still remember this day. Still to this day remember they're like, discipline, aye, sir. Discipline, obedience, all our authority and self-reliance, sir.
Yeah.
Discipline, sir, discipline, aye, sir. Dude, again. You'd be sitting there for like, and it was just a pastime for them.
Yeah.
But they're programming you. You're learning. That's what it is.
Yeah, man.
And discipline is, it's funny because I was a second generation. My dad was in 3-5 in Korea. It's like, and he would tell me, and I didn't get it. Yeah. Like discipline, everything. The most disciplined units are the most effective. The most disciplined businessmen are the most effective.
Yeah, the most successful.
It's like,
and that would be the difference between us and the enemy. And we'd be like, we're more disciplined. We're going to sit in this friggin' swamp all night long and be awake and pay attention and run missions and do all this stuff. Why? Because we're more disciplined.
And when it gets scary and gets dicey, we don't run away.
Yeah, because we got the discipline.
Hold your position. Like, that's discipline. Like, and it's, if you look throughout history, every great army was disciplined. It was extremely disciplined. That's why they were great. It's like, I mean, all the way back to, as much as I hate to bring them up, bring up the Spartans and stuff.
Yeah.
There's so much Spartan shit going on.
Yeah, they're ruining it. They're trying to ruin it.
But that's what made them. That's what made them there.
Yeah.
They were extraordinarily disciplined. The Romans, the Roman legions, they were extraordinarily disciplined.
Yeah, exactly.
So it's like, there's a thread there.
Yeah, the samurais, they had ridiculous amounts of honor.
Yes.
So
that's why, like, when we look at the, like, we're condensing your entire life down to it, but that's really what it is.
It's what everything comes out of.
Because if you don't know, you don't know.
Yeah, okay. Exactly.
But overwhelmingly, you know.
Yeah, and you feel this feeling, man, of like, running from it, and it's. I'm scared for you. You have to face it if you ever want to be anywhere.
If you are saying to yourself, man, I probably shouldn't do that. Like, I probably shouldn't do that. No, the answer is, I really shouldn't do that.
I shouldn't do it.
I shouldn't do that. Like, I should not do that.
Yeah.
Like, and if it's I probably should do that, then it's I definitely should.
You really need to do it. Yeah.
But it's that's why it's weird, because if you don't know, then it's a different question you're asking yourself. Inquisitive, like, I wonder how this works. Or you're asking questions about it. If it's I should or I shouldn't, then the answer is either yes, I should be doing this, or no, I definitely shouldn't be doing it. But
when you're asking questions about it, you're either doing it from a place of bravery, where you're willing to face whatever the answer is that you submitted.
Yeah.
And then whatever you uncover, you're willing to step in it, or you're asking them from a place of like, I want to shrink away from what I feel.
Cowardice. I know what I should do, but I want you to tell me not to do it. It's okay.
Yeah, exactly.
I want your approval for my personal cowardice.
Yeah.
It's like, it's hard, man. It's and you know what? You learn those lessons of life. Nobody is immune from. We've all learned it before,
and we're all fighting this same battle on some level.
Forever.
I'm fighting this same battle on some level right now. You know what I mean? And so are you. So is everybody. There's some spot in my life where I'm like, I know what I need to do. But man, I'd rather just post on Instagram. Right? I'd rather just work on my blog today.
But you got to reach down and be like, I got to get it done.
Yeah. The difference is some people eventually, we reach down and we're like, all right, time to freaking put up a
grab a hold and freaking get on with it.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's, I think that's something too, like in the big picture, there's not enough of that for young men coming up.
Yeah.
There's not enough where it's like, hey, dude,
get that participation trophy.
Like, it's like you don't get. That's why I love when I started wrestling, and when I was young, it's like I had to step out on the mat and deal with my fears, just me and you.
By your dang self.
Yeah, it's like just the two of us out there. We freaking get it on, and that's it. Yeah. And you get your two rival tribes cheering and chanting and all that. And if you win, the team wins, and if you lose, you lost. It's like the win belongs to the team, the loss belongs to you.
Man, that's good.
And that's something you got to learn. As when you're in a team organization.
Yeah.
That
your spot.
Everybody gets the win, you get the loss.
Yeah.
And that's a hard one, but stuff that you learn if you're brought up correctly. Like I think we have a really coarse society right now. We've got all this, all the shenanigans going on with the, all the Me Too stuff and all people doing bad shit and all that. So, you know what? If men were doing their job, teaching their boys how to be grown-ups and how to be respectful and decent,
men, not just males. There's a difference between men and males and boys.
Male is just a gender.
Yeah, being a man, that's a rite of passage. You earn that. Exactly. It's a certain character traits that are a man.
Yes, and there's too many of them out there that that,
think they get it by time and grade.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it's like, exactly. It's time and grade. I got it. Like, no.
No, just because you're this age doesn't mean you're a man.
I've seen a lot of that. You want the respect that a man deserves, but you don't want to earn it.
Yeah,
like, dude. There's a lot of stuff you got to do, and it's the young guys. It's when I see them around, I see the way they talk to each other and talk to people. I'm like, dude, that's not the way a confident grown man acts. And I see them, I'm out places and see them with their chick or whatever, going around doing stuff. I'm like, treat them like crap. You're like, dude, she's gonna freaking bounce, dude. She's gonna walk. Some guy's gonna treat her the way a man treats a woman, and she's like, I'm out. Yeah. And you're gonna be wondering, like, what? It's gonna be hurtful.
Be respectable, man. You got to be righteous, man. And I don't mean that in like a religious way. I mean, like your deeds. You need to. For me personally, like, I gotta be right. It's like if I'm pulling the trigger, it's like I gotta be right. I gotta be righteous. My actions, I'm a powerful freaking being. You got to go. Like, I mean, and a man knows this, and a man values that. He respects that. He handles that strength with honor.
Yeah, you don't abuse it.
Exactly. You don't abuse
it, and you. It's like there's a like a kind of like a chivalry thing. I hate to say because people have like, what was some
old different direction.
But yeah, it's like you look out for people. Do like. Be a decent being a man doesn't mean you have to crush or break everything around you. No. It's not a demonstration of just brute strength. That's not it. It's a demonstration of honor and humility.
Yeah, exactly.
And like a lot of people don't recognize that. It's like,
and when you have a healthy ego and you know who you are and you did your dirt time, you don't got to prove it. And you can prove, man. I can afford to be gentle. I can afford to take a second to understand, and I can afford to do these things because I am legitimately strong. Yeah, I mean, like when you're legitimately strong internally, you don't get moved by these external things, and you don't have to prove it. You shouldn't. Confidence is quiet.
Yeah, you shouldn't have to prove things to other people.
Yeah,
if you prove them to yourself, they'll see it.
Yeah, and I think a lot of what's lost is we're strong. Marine Corps, we were learning to be these warriors so we could serve at a higher level. The more specialized you became, you're able to serve at these very high specialized level that other men weren't able to serve at because they didn't make that selection, And I feel like strength is like that. Like I'm with my character, I know I'm strong and you're skilled and you're strong in order to serve at these levels that only like elite men or people who are at this level, women can serve at. And so I feel like strength is like a rite of passage to serve on a higher level.
Well, you can't. You can't. No one's led by weak people. It's like,
right?
Mentored by a weak back. Like,
yeah. It's like looking for that guy to follow.
I was like, I want to follow that guy. He's weak as hell. Like, but it's earned and it's harder and it's easy. Like you got to do the time, and you got to do the dirt time. You got to do the time learning, and you've got to be humble. And every once in a while, life's going to remind you. It's like, hey, you thought you were this guy? Well, guess what?
You're only man.
Yep. You're not quite there. So it's like,
and that's good.
But that's why I see in the culture that we live in, it's like it has become like I was sitting there and I got this big ass freaking in my new house. I got this big 70-inch Vizio, which is pretty badass.
Yeah, sweet.
But we're clicking through it, and my daughter stops, and it's some TV show. I'm like, what? And I hear these girls talking, and it's a freaking it's a show called, what is it called? Dirty Little Liars or something like that. Pretty Little Liars.
Okay.
And I'm like, like just the name. It's a bunch of young girls like catty. I'm like,
this won't be going on in my house. I'm like, you know what?
I was like, no.
Kibosh.
Yeah.
Until you can whoop my, you ain't watching.
If you want to freaking grapple for the remote, then you can beat me. You can throw an armbar or Kimura on me and take the remote.
Yeah, maybe we'll consider it. But
I was like, you watch the crap on TV?
Not on my watch.
I watch some of that shit. I'm like, Keeping Up with the Kardashians.
Yeah.
I'm like, I don't want to watch anything where at the end of it, I'm not smarter.
Right. I'm right there with you, bro. And that's why I don't watch TV. I pick a movie. I watch a movie. My house,
Discovery Channel, History Channel, Military Channel.
Love that trash, man. Yeah. My house, bro, like I had to outlaw the Orange County Housewives, brother. I came home
shut that down.
One or too many evenings, and I was like, these breezes are on my TV. I would never allow anyone in my house to act like I was like, stop. This is no, be mad at me. Okay. Yeah. And of course, my wife understands, but I was like everybody else. I was like, look, this is just not okay in this environment. Not on my watch because I'm a man and I'm here and this is my responsibility.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I'm gonna monitor this.
I
can't.
Go find something else.
I'll be sitting down and there's nothing on television. I'm like, it's really good. History Channel. I'm like, wow. Battle of Hastings, 1066. Yeah, I'll watch that again. Like I'll get smart. I'll learn something.
Well, when you live like that, you start to value learning. So like for me, watching a lot of entertainment, it's like eating dessert. It's like I'll be in the movie theaters now, unfortunately, watching a movie. Halfway through the movie, I'll be like, my brain is like just like the vibrational the quality of this information and entertainment isn't good enough to keep my attention. Yeah. Like I'm used to learning like the quality of things that I take in on a daily basis between the audiobooks and even the conversations I'm having. Like most entertainment, like explosions and flashy things don't keep my attention.
What is the explosion thing? Got that?
Yeah, we got that. You know, but now it's like, and you start to really value like, yo, I'll sit down and learn something and be smarter after this, and that's hot. That's sexy.
That's happening. But just to sit there, the chewing gum for the eyes. Like I'm just going to sit there
chewing
passively.
Gum for the eyes,
just sit there and watch watch it suck the gray matter out of my freaking brain.
Yeah.
No.
And
that's why you see a lot of people too with the in this modern age. You see a lot of dudes that live on their box and chicks that live on their phone. They live on iPads. They live on computers. And like it's amazing. You see there are, and I won't name any names, but there's somebody that I know whose son is 20 something years old now. He has never asked a girl out in person. It's always been over a phone or over a just stepped up and was like, hey, what's up?
Yeah, like how you doing tonight?
Yeah,
my name's such and such.
Yeah, like just like go outside.
Yeah, can I take you to dinner?
Stepped in front of a girl face to face and asked her out. Like, what is up with that?
Yeah, like this is kick the eagle out the nest moment. Like this is like, hey, we're going out to the mall right now.
You're gonna ask a girl. You're gonna ask
one girl after another until you get it. Yeah, exactly. Before we leave here,
I was like,
we're doing this.
Yeah, I'm like, what the hell, man? Where you get people that like. They talk to their best friend from Norway on the computer every night. They don't know their neighbor's name.
Yeah, man.
Like you don't know your neighbor's name, but you know this person in Norway and their whole family, and you like webcam them and hi, you're talking. Like I literally know somebody that did that. It's like, what's your neighbor's name? Like I don't know.
Bro, neighbors watching you back. Hopefully
exactly.
You do it right.
Exactly. Like first thing I did when I moved into the house, walked across the street.
Yeah.
And freaking introduced, hey, I'm your neighbor. This is what I do. This is who I am. Blah blah blah.
Yeah.
Dude's an engineer.
Kind of like deliver some cookies.
Yeah, man. It was like
make peace.
It's like you do that. Like you don't want to be like, I don't want to be the guy across the street. Like, oh, what's he doing? Oh, he's like, hey, you go, hey, Mike, what are you doing? And it's cool.
Yeah, we've lost a lot of that.
There's just that, and that goes back to the manliness. To me, like for him not stepping up in front of a girl and going, hey, because guess what?
Dude, I got
great news for you. They're not all going to say yes. So you got to deal with that. You got to step up and go,
more of them will say no if you're in the game, then they're going to say yes. And then what's going to happen is you're going to get in a relationship. And I remember this one pastor said this, and back in this church I was going to, and he didn't mean it the way I mean it when I say it. He was like, marriage is, but he's right. He's like, marriage is one of the things in life that'll teach you how to be a man. And I always would follow it up with, because if you ain't a man when you get married, you ain't never going to see your balls ever again. Because I tell you right now, boy, it's all is fair in love and war. You know what I'm saying? And being in the military, we've seen it. Oh, yeah. You know, and you're going to have all these little traits, and you're going to get in a relationship, and that female is going to own your world if you haven't even had the balls to face a female and ask her out on a date.
Yeah,
you're at a major.
Owned.
Yeah, you're even a prayer. Like I just got to chalk up the first one to a learning experience to see how long it takes you to get out of it.
Yeah, sure. You got that thing too with the man thing. You got in I see guys that are either super freaking passive and their chick runs them all over the place. Yeah. And women or they're domineering and they're like, you don't need to be in charge of everything all the time. There's some stuff that's in your lane. You better step up on it. Yep. But the other stuff, it's like you can be confident enough. If you're half of it, there's two of you, then you're 50% of it. Yeah. If you're 50% of it, then you only get 50% time in charge. Right. But it's got to be targeted. There are certain things that you're supposed to be responsible for. Yeah. And it's some of it's like, more like the roles you play in the family. Other stuff is like, guess what? If the damn truck needs to have the oil changed, either you change the oil yourself or you take it someplace to get it changed. But that's like a guy job. That's your wife or your chick shouldn't have to go get her oil changed, or you shouldn't be changing oil in your driveway. Yeah, that's your damn job.
Yeah, that's man stuff.
Oh yeah. And dude, I talked to a dude who called AAA. He got flat and he called AAA. I was like, what? You're making us look bad. Like, what, did you not have a jack in your car or something? No, I've never changed a tire before. I was like,
you go out. Yeah. And you sit on the side of the road and figure it out until
like my grandma.
No, I dig it. A lot of that's being lost. Men need good role models now. That's just where we're at. We've been men I feel like have been attacked and it's all been watered down, and a lot of masculine stuff's been demonized as a result of some toxic masculinity.
Dudes don't want to step up either. They don't want to step up and go, no, we're not like that. They're like, oh no, I'm sorry. Yeah.
No, bump that, and that's I think that's gonna change soon, man, because it has to.
It cycles. Everything goes in cycles, man. It's like it'll come back around.
Good to go, man. Well, it's been good. What are you doing now? Where can people find you?
Just on the website, CTT Solutions, www.ctt-solutions.com, and I'm headed to Riverside to work with them for 4 days, and then home for a while, and then some other DoD clients, and then I'm going to be kind of taking the summer off, man.
Chillaxing.
Yeah, working out. I'm actually going to be leaning really, really, really hard into my sports shooting for the summer. I'm doing a lot of that.
And then I know you're on the Instagram.
Yeah, Instagram. Oh, it's I don't know.
You got like two of them.
Because I got hacked. My thing got hacked, and then it got unhacked by some people. And so it's Knoner CTTS2. That's one of them on Instagram, and the other one is _real_CTT Solutions. So my stuff got hacked by some dude in Turkey, and so I stood up a new site, and then some people that I know unhacked my stuff, and so I have two now. So
don't be hacking Mike's stuff. He knows people. Good to go.
Exactly. So it's Knoner. It's what do you call it? Knoner CTTS2, and it's _real_CTT Solutions.
Boom. CTT Solutions is the company. Follow this man. Mm-hmm. Thank you so much, man, for spending this time with me.
Bro.
I've got for you. Boom. We'll get one of these, man. I appreciate you, man. And I admire you. I respect you.
Same here, man. That's why we're friends.
Heck yeah. I appreciate that's an honor. So that's what's up, y'all. Hope you enjoyed it. We'll see you on the next episode. Boom. Boom. And to support this podcast, go to executiveprotectionlifestyle.com and contribute to our Patreon account. That Patreon account is what helps me make this podcast possible, contributing to this brand, what we're doing here, making it so that I can bring better guests on, making it so that we can plan more events and just expand the contribution to the private security industry, and also to making America a safer place by teaching people how to protect themselves and the mindset behind that, the lifestyle behind that. You guys are already killing it. $1 a month, $5 a month, $10 a month, $20 a month, whatever you can do that you know you would probably just lose in the mattress anyway or spend on McDonald's. Hey, you want to put it towards something that's going to good use, put it towards a podcast, and get involved in our Patreon account at executiveprotectionlifestyle.com. And if you want to find me, that's ByronRodgersMotivation.com. Do whatever you can, contribute whatever you can to that Patreon account, because it makes all of these things possible, ladies and gentlemen. So much love. Thank you, and thank you for making those contributions. You guys rock. We're already doing amazing there, and it's just because of you guys. So thanks once again for those contributions. Boom. I hope you guys enjoyed that episode of Executive Protection Lifestyle Podcast. This whole entire thing actually just started off as a Facebook group that blew up and is one of the fastest growing, if not the fastest growing, executive protection Facebook group online. So if you haven't joined the Facebook group, join the Facebook group. Follow us on Instagram and check us out at executiveprotectionlifestyle.com. If you want to find me, that's ByronRodgersMotivation.com, and I'm on all the social media platforms, Instagram, Twitter, Facebook as well. So until the next podcast, y'all, stay sharp out there. And as I say it, one mind, many weapons. Talk soon. Out.